Hey, hey, hey. Let's get more messages on. Whew. Right, well, yeah, I'm a bit shattered today. We will see who we get in and what we're going to do. But as always, thanks for watching. If you're catching up after the stream, do let me know in the comments so I know that's what you're up to. Let's spin this around and see if we can't get a little bit of Bandido started. Right. Actually, I'll get behind the camera, it'll be a bit easier. Okay, looking to get everything in as best we can. Right, I see already some of you are in. Hey, hey, hey. Well, that is not straight, is it? That's better. All right, let's get the chat doing. Sparker's in. Good evening, Sparker. I'm not here. You didn't see me. You didn't see nothing, right? And Ellie is in as well. Good evening, Ellie. Lovely to see you again. Let's get all messages on. Audi's all right. He's still in need of a bit of a wash. We'll get round to that. Right. Let's crack out a bit of Bandido. Yeah, it was a great stream yesterday, Ellie. Loved playing that game with you guys. That was a lot of fun. Let's see, where can we put that? That should be pretty decent. Okay, I am not central with that at all, so I need to go that way. That does not feel like that makes sense. But that's how the way I've got to put it. Weird. Okay, so there we go. Is it good that I lasted 10 minutes out of 60 in last season because, in last lesson, sorry, because of that lad? That's not good at all. They're still putting you in the same class with him. That seems, I mean, obviously I don't exactly know what went on with you and him. I don't know how serious it was. If your parents are deciding that the police might need to be involved, it was clearly serious enough that I feel like they should be seriously addressing the fact that he's in the classroom with you, or that he's even in the school. I don't honestly, because I don't know what it was. Yeah, I'm guessing you can't put it in the chat. I would say email me, but obviously I don't like to be emailing back and forth with the young members of our family. That's more for the older members. But the school should address your safety at all times. We have somebody. Hi, I'm a new subscriber. Thank you very much. Daylight BM Go. I don't know. What do I call you? But welcome to the chat. Lovely to have you here. Yeah, I do. Don't remind me, Ellie. Do you actually go to like a special school? I remember that Gracie said that she does, but I can't remember if you just go to a mainstream or if you're going to a SEND school. Not that like there should be a difference between one making the effort and another in terms of keeping you safe, but well, it's a mainstream and SEN school. So what I'm wondering is if this other lad, if he is SEN or whether he is like, because like I don't know what happened. I'm guessing it wasn't anything remotely appropriate for being in a school, but I can also imagine that a lad with special educational needs might also have some other issues that could arise. I'm going to go with, I'm going to do this. And that maybe the school is like being a bit lenient with him because of something like that, but I don't know. Damsel is in. Hi, Damsel. Good evening. Hope you're well. So, Daylight saying, how old are you? Because I'm new. I'm 44. And you may call me Molly. That is what everyone calls me. It's going to be a real chill one today. You can tell I've got chill energy. I'm not all like bouncing off the walls like sometimes. Could have used that there with something else going on, but I couldn't actually do that. I think that works well. It's Molly time. That's right. He was doing some weird actions and then staring at me like he was a pig. Oh, okay. I think I can guess as to what was the issue there. That sounds grim. Like, was it just with you, or has he done that with other people? That's really weird. New game coming to console, Icarus. I'm excited to try it. Sounds like a lot of fun. You make me feel like I should get a console so that I can play games with you guys. I tell you, that would make for some interesting streams. Me getting super frustrated at a computer game. Oh dear. How many? Yeah, I don't really want to use a closer on this lot. I'm going to do that. Nice to meet you as well, Daylight. Now, I'm from the UK. I don't know if I can ask where you're from, Daylight. I'm guessing as you've not responded, you're not going to tell me a different name to call you by. So, Daylight it is. Ooh, getting close. We might actually be able to close something up soon. Might go with a closer over here just to get that one done. And then we're working just with this bit at the top here. Okay, I should have started this further back this way. Damsel saying no damsel is in bed sore and pumped with pain meds, so I apologise now for spelling this. What? Wait. Oh, you're saying that you're talking about yourself in the third person, damsel. That confused me for a second. Oh dear. What's got you in bed all sore? If it's something appropriate for stream, at least. Just you, Ellie. Oh, yeah. That's yeah. That is rather grim. That somebody's doing stuff like that at school. I take it this lad is about the same age as you if he's in your classes, so he should know better. That's very inappropriate. That's rather nasty. I'm going to close that off, try to work these two round to each other. Man, I'm getting such bad cards here. I could potentially do, yes, I quite like this as an idea. I'm going to do that. And then, now I'm going to continue with that. There we go, because we've got a corner piece, which admittedly won't be that easy to use, and if I use it now I could get in a load of problems. But I can do that piece instead and keep them two open, see what we get. Okay. Yeah, I like this. I've got ideas. Like that. I'm going to put that there like that. I think I can finish this. I think I've done it. Yeah, I've never done it like that before. That's a really nice way to finish it off. Use two corners side by side. I'm realising that you can't see that. I need to get this back a bit further. Let's try to... There you go, now you can see the game a bit. I just need to level it up. There we go. Aha, there we have it. The first dub on the board, Sparker. First dub. I've got a PC. I mean, I've got a laptop, and I do have a PC hanging about, but I'm just not much into the games, if I'm honest. I certainly don't have a PC worthy of playing games. I don't think. It's very old. Ellie off to get something to eat. That's fair enough. You go get something to eat. I look like I'm 35. Well, appreciate the compliment, Daylight. It's my fibromyalgia. Too much bowling yesterday killed my body today. I didn't know you had fibromyalgia, damsel. I'm sure you probably have said it in the past and I've just forgotten, so I apologise. But yeah, that's no, I do know that. I remember that now. You have told me. Yeah, that was a while ago though. My memory's bad for these things. But yeah, I guess that sort of thing would flare it up. Well, you've paid the price for your fun, I guess. I've got to admit, the first time me and Ethan went bowling, like it'd been the first time I've been bowling for ages. I went with a lighter ball anyway than I used to, and my arm was still absolutely sore afterwards though, for the next couple of days. It was weird. It's not so bad now, we've done enough of it that my muscles have sort of compensated. Oh, Daylight's gone. Oh well. Bye-bye, Daylight. I've only heard people talk of that much, but yeah. I mean, I don't know anyone else with it, to be fair. The fibromyalgia. I would cook for you, Ellie, and bring it round, but you're too far away. Yeah. Gracie's in. Hi, Gracie. I guess we're going to get some news update then. Oh, makes me want to give you a big old hug, damsel, but just as you're saying to Ellie, you're too far away. Should I get food or should I not? To be honest, it's quite late, Ellie. It's probably not the best time of day to be eating. So if you've already eaten enough today, I'd say leave the food. But if you haven't eaten much, then yeah. So are you going to tell us why you were in A&E? Because you already told me in the comments, Gracie. So I'm now waiting for the explanation. Sue is in. Hi, Sue. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Feeling a bit chill today. Just a really long day at work, to be honest. Not a bad day, just very long, and I got a lot of sun. So one of the annoying things is I left my sunscreen in the van, like my van, and I could go and buy some more, but I was getting to the shop, so I'm sometimes a bit lazy with that. So essentially, I have been out in the sun all day, and I kind of notice that sometimes when it starts to when it catches up with me. Even with the low UV that it was today, it was still sunny all day, and I kind of noticed that kind of drains my energy a little bit. Sparks an awkward confession. I strained my groin bowling and had to have assistance to get back to my seat. Ooh. Oh. I mean, as long as you didn't have to get someone to hold it for you when you went to the toilet, because you know that would be embarrassing. But yeah, we not that we've all strained a groin or anything, but we've all done embarrassing things where where we've regretted our choices because we got ourselves into a bit of a pickle. And he's saying, well, Molly, to be honest, I just realised I need food with my meds, so we're going to be eating something small. That's not bad. Yeah, if you've got to have food with your meds, then yes, go get you've got to make sure you've got something with it. Yeah. Damsel making bold, lying promises out there. Oh dear. Oh, it's your back, Gracie. You had an X-ray. Well, that's not A&E though, is it? To get an X-ray? Or would have? I mean, you probably go in near that entrance, but it sounds like it wasn't an accident, an emergency thing, so much as an actual appointment thing. I love it. It turns out I've got a curve. There we go. Oh, is that? There's a term for different things. There's a few different things actually that cause that, isn't there? It's absolutely fine to laugh, Damsel. I still don't understand how I did it. Was it with the bowling ball on the bowling alley? So it was Sparker with the bowling ball on the bowling alley. If it was if it was a different kind of alley, and it wasn't the bowling ball, there will be questions and an inquiry about it, Sparker. Oh dear. Oh, chocolate waffles, Ellie. Sounds good. So, yeah, chocolate waffles. Yeah, Aldi, like quite a long time ago, I can't remember how many years ago it was, they started doing chocolate scones, or scones, depending how you want to pronounce it. And they were really lovely, especially if you microwave them with a little bit of butter inside. And I like to have like one of those with my, well, one of those for my breakfast with my hot chocolate, basically. And yeah, they were delicious, but they stopped selling them at some point. They were always hard to get hold of because they would fly off the shelf. Everyone just nabbed them because they were really good. And they just stopped selling them. I was like, why have you stopped selling these? It's like they were literally selling like hotcakes, and I'm like, what on earth? Oh, it's Chris here. Look, you are hot, ASF or AF basically, which is as flip. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Always like a good compliment. Better than the people coming in giving it nasty comments. I always appreciate the compliments. Gracie saying, but yeah, I've got to go back tomorrow to the fracturer and ortho. Fair enough. I guess they've got to have a little look at you, see what's the matter. Fragglefart is in. Hi, Fragglefart. It's been a minute. How are you doing, my man? Hope you're well. And Grayson scoliosis. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's the name. Well, that's one of the things that can cause a curved spine. There's a few things, isn't there? And he's saying, I've been waiting years to see an ortho. Yeah. Play gonna go tomorrow to find out what we can do, but if it's not fixed, well, okay. Okay. Damn saying, to be honest, most of my pain is in my left buttocks. Feels like I've been given 10 rapid to the butt cheek. I do apologise, damsel. I should not have snuck around and done that without you knowing. I do apologise. I would offer to come back and kiss it better, but that'd be really inappropriate. Oh, dear me. Oh, we've got Rach in. Hi, Rach. No, Spark. Wait, hold on. Rach was already in. Was she already in? She was. Rach. Oh, it was the big. Do you know what? I didn't see it because that's often Gracie's thing to do, and Gracie's name was just under yours, but Rach with the big hand. Okay. Yeah, no, I think it was assumed Spark was talking about a while ago. I kind of figured somewhere between like a year and 10 years ago, but who knows. Peter's in. Hi, Pete. Good evening. I'm so far behind on the chat. I do apologise. I'm going to really just scroll through and quickly look. Yeah, it's been a while. Sorry, I haven't been in for a while, says Fraggle Fart. Where are you right now? Looks like a massive upgrade. This is literally just the B&B I've been staying in since they took the van away from me. And yeah, still waiting on updates on that. I have done a little bit of research. Actually, talking about that, I should probably talk about the van a little bit. I did a little bit of research this morning on whether or not an insurance company can pull back from a decision to write off a vehicle, and they can. The downside is that if they've already put the paperwork through, even if they roll that back and decide to repair it, because obviously they're always going to do whatever's cheapest for them. So because I've put through documentation showing that my van's worth 30k plus, and it's obviously going to make it way more expensive for them to pay that out than fix it, because I'm pretty sure they're not going to be like quoting them. Like, I think they'd have to be quoting them at least 50% of the cost, so maybe even 70 of that. So I think like the fix would have to be like in the realms of about 15 to 20,000 pounds for them to say, okay, we'll agree to that and give you the money. I feel like one of three things will probably happen. They're either going to come back and say, we don't agree with your figures, and we're going to either hold fast at our. I think it's unlikely they're going to hold fast. I think it's more like they'll just go up by a few hundred or even like a thousand or two as like the baseline. There is a chance that they basically come up a bit and say, well, look, we don't agree with your valuation, but we can come about halfway up. But there's also the chance that they basically can't really argue my valuation, but then realise it's far too much to pay out, and they'd actually rather just repair the vehicle at that point. If they do that, the problem is it stays as a mark on the vehicle that it was written off, and that lowers its value if I ever want to sell it, and it also means that my insurance premiums could be higher as well. So if they do that, I'm going to have to really push hard for them to actually like expunge that from the history of my vehicle, because if they put the paperwork through, they have to essentially unwind all of that so that there's no mark on it to say that it was written off, because that's kind of well out of order. And I know what they'll do, because they already tried some nonsense with me, trying to basically say that they were going to take the hire van off me like 24 hours after giving me an offer for a total loss. And I've looked it up, and that is not standard practice in the industry. It's actually standard to give me 7 to 14 days after I receive the payment from a total write-off sort of offer. So I'd have to have the money in my account first, and then the clock starts ticking. So they were giving me a lot of BS. But having them have done that, when I went back to get it sorted out, they gave me a 1 week extension on it from that date, which means that come Monday, I'm supposed to give the van back, which now means not only do I have to chase them up every week to get them to give me this place for longer until it gets resolved, but I've got to chase them up for the hire van as well. So they're essentially just making me jump through hoops all the time to get them to give me what they should be giving me. And it's all just tactics to make me feel like I need to just accept offers and stuff and just do whatever they say. And it's well out of order, to be honest. So I'm just going to keep bugging them, and I'm just going to keep making them pay until they agree a decent price. Or if they decide to repair the van instead now, I will keep fighting with them on that to make sure they expunge all the history so that my van doesn't have any marks on it. I mean, I'm not worried about resale value too much, just because I'm unlikely to sell it ever. I'm more worried about it costing me more for insurance, which, you know, it's already quite like a pricey insurance. I don't really want it to be any higher. Right, let's get back to the chat. I'm seeing the other people who work with the ortho a week tomorrow. Well, at least you're getting to see them, Ellie. It might have taken a while, but at least you're getting there. Extreme sports like bowling, Sparker, honestly. Chris saying, what's your name, handsome? My name is Moley. Well, that's what everyone calls me. I'm guessing you're Chris. So where are you from, Chris? I'm UK based myself. I don't think everyone's poorly tonight, no. I mean, obviously Ellie's never in good shape, and Damsel's, you know, fighting the pain. I mean, me and Sparker are basically decrepit anyway. So I mean, he's obviously more decrepit than me, because he doesn't climb up ladders all day long. But yeah, I'm definitely feeling it today. Right, we've got to talk about meds with the girls. Let's skip all that. Okay, we're getting hearts in. Thank you very much. Them saying, I have got. Wow, that's a word. How I've got to try to pronounce a word now. Coco da. Well, nah, coco demo. Cocodamals? I don't know. I don't know what that's saying. I can't function on super strong painkillers. Yeah, I don't know who really does, really. Whenever you get like super strong ones, don't they basically have a thing saying don't operate heavy machinery and stuff, and don't drive? Rachel asking about a van update. I've just given that, so I guess I'm well behind on the chat. Yeah. Hopefully I answered any questions you had, but fire away with some more if you want. Frankfurt saying, since that crash, I feel sorry for you. It seems like it has affected you a lot, and obviously with the van, you have probably had it for a while. At the moment, for you, it just sounds really confusing. It is. It's stressful. It's not nice to be kind of essentially removed forcibly from your home, which is what happens. And I did get rather cross with the woman who came back with the total loss offer, and she was obviously highly trained to basically get me and whoever else she's given, because they have a department just for that. And obviously everyone in that department is trained to try to get you and trick you into basically accepting lowball offers. They're there just trying to thread the needle between the legality of they have to say all the right things, but they're trying to word it in such a way where you feel like you don't have options and you just have to accept. And like, she was really trying to pressure me, and she was trying to take away like my ability to like have a higher vehicle to work with, and she was like really applying like just really nasty tactics, to be honest. And yeah, she wasn't doing me any favors that day. She stressed me out like a lot, realistically. And dealing with them, feeling like I've lost my home. That was it. I got cross with her because she was like, well, like, you know, you had options, you didn't have, like, because she was like, and honestly, at this point, I don't know if this is standard, and I probably will look at this later now that it's on my mind. She was like, this is basically your options. We'll give you this money, or we can give you less money, and you can have the van back. And I was like, well, if I take the van back, like she started going into the details, and I was like, wait, did you just say that it would be my responsibility to get the van back from the garage? And she's like, yes. And I was like, well, hold on a second. That's not right at all, because that's going to cost me a lot, and I don't know even where it is. I mean, what on earth are you talking about? You guys took it, you've got to bring it back. And she's like, no, it's basically with the garage, it'd be like, we don't have somebody to bring it back to you. I'm like, you're talking nonsense. Like, you're my insurance company, and I have roadside assistance with you now. You have people that you can call to to get it to me. Don't talk nonsense. You just don't want to pay out for it. And she's like, well, it's not our responsibility. And I was like, it is. You took my vehicle. I didn't want you to take my vehicle. She says, well, you had options. You didn't have to let us take it. I was like, no, I didn't, because I told you I didn't want you to take it. And the guy said that they had to take it and made it out like I didn't have the option. So you guys took it against my will, because I'd rather you send somebody out to appraise the damage and figure things out. I didn't think any, like, I thought it was pretty stupid to drag my van. So, and to be honest, I've worked out where it is. It's in East London. So they've took it all the way down the A1 around the M25 a quarter of the way, and somewhere just off there. That's where they've took it to. So it's quite far away, and I'm like, you plonkers, the amount that must have cost you just to put it in there. And I know why they do that, why that's their process, because now they have the vehicle. They want to have the vehicle, because then they can take money off me to give it back to me. Whereas if they'd have come out and looked at it, they could have still done that same thing, and they still talk about salvage. But because it's basically under their hands and it's to do with salvage laws, that's why they do it that way. And I'm like, you cheeky monkeys. Like, because basically, if I've got my van there and I'm not pressured into either not having my vehicle. Like, my parents had a similar situation. They had their car damaged, it got written off, and they got offered, you know, the same options. And I can imagine that my dad on the phone with the people probably just accepted whatever they said. But the thing is, like, they didn't have a replacement vehicle, so he kind of probably just wanted it back as quick as possible. Whereas if he'd already had it there to drive around while he was waiting for them to decide whether they were going to fix it, he might not have felt quite so pressured to make a decision. And so I reckon it's all just tactics by them. So it's pretty nasty. But I got really irate with her when she was saying I had options. I did not have an option, because you guys did not listen to me when I said I didn't want you guys to take the van. You took the van, and now it's like, you know, and I've realised afterwards they've kind of done themselves in, because they're having to pay for this place and a hire vehicle while I wait for them to make decisions. So it's just costing them way more money. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to use that to my advantage now, because I'm pretty sure, because of the precedent they've set, I can essentially force them to keep, like, first of all, I'm pretty sure from industry standards, they have to keep providing me with the hire vehicle. I'm pretty sure I can force them to keep paying for this place as well, while they mess around and try to make their decisions. If they do go back to they're going to repair it, they'll still have to put me up in here and give me the hire vehicle then as well, for sure. So I think I've basically got them over a barrel at this point, and I think they don't realise that I know this, but I now know it, and I'm going to take full advantage of it, and they're gonna suffer the consequences of their nonsense. They could have just treated me fairly, and I probably wouldn't have made any waves, but instead they've treated me like a fool, and they're going to get treated like fools themselves. It's just the way it's going to be. Yeah, I'm going to be fighting tooth and nail now, and researching everything they say to me. Oh dear. Good evening, Sienna. I've just seen your message. I am well behind on the chat. Anyone messaging now? I am so far behind, it's unreal. This is the furthest I've ever been behind. I do apologise. I'm going to really scroll quickly. You all talk amongst each other, which is quite good. Okay, I'm just going to sneak past a lot of this. Rosie Rose is in, saying, seeing the other son this weekend, question mark. Yeah, I'll be seeing Henry for a little bit this weekend, but you guys won't see him. He's unlikely to be on stream much at all, to be honest. I don't know if you guys will see him for ages, to be fair. It might be like the summer holidays before you guys see him. I honestly don't know what the plans are with him. He's at that age now. He's 13. He's got his own life to lead. He doesn't necessarily want to be spending time with dad on my streams playing board games. I don't know if any of you ever really noticed, but the board games were never his like cup of tea. Like, he'll play just to be part of it, but quite often he didn't really want to play the board games as much as me and Ethan do. So yeah, not everyone has the same, like, you know, enjoyment of different like hobbies and that. Like, he's really into his fishing and I'm really not, but I try to do some sort of stuff with him. You know, we've done a couple of streams by the rivers with him, even because it's like something nice for him to do, and it's nice to put a bit of effort in doing what he wants. I'm going to scroll through. You guys are catching up with each other. That's lovely. I like to just have a quick gander, but I just move on quickly. Yep, you're right, Spark. I never trust insurance companies. What I would say is they pretend to be nice and your friends, while essentially everything they're doing for you, they have to do for you. It's their obligation to do it. Because if they fail to do it and they got reported to the ombudsman, they could get in a lot of trouble. And I'm starting to realise that I have to call them on some of the stuff that they don't have to do, but they should do. Like, basically, if they left me homeless and if they left me without the ability to work because they didn't provide a hire vehicle, they could get in a lot of trouble from the ombudsman, because that is unreasonable, like, to expect me to have to deal with that, considering they're an insurance company. And they operate on the because obviously there's a legal requirement for us all to have insurance on our vehicles. We legally have to have insurance on our vehicles. It's not like in America where you get to choose. We have to have insurance. It's legal, sort of stuff to do with it. And so therefore the flip side of that is they have legal requirements. They have to provide a certain amount of stuff back to us and behave in a certain way. And I'm gonna push them on that. I really am. But they pretend like the things that they do for you is like, oh yeah, we're just trying to help out and do the best we can for you. It's like, no, you're doing the bare minimum. And then the second that they get to the point where they're ready to make decisions, it's nasty tactics the whole way. But their first one is trying to make you pretend like they're there to help you, and they're there to sort of, like, you know, do you a favour. And I honestly think that woman was like, well, you should just take a big chunk of money. I'm like, well, no, because what am I going to do with that? Because my van will be busted. I'm going to have a mad headache. You're talking nonsense. You've resolved nothing for me. I'm going to be in an absolutely terrible situation. And she's like, well, you can make claims for this stuff later. I'm like, what? And in the meantime, just basically, like, not be able to work or be homeless or pick between the two. What? Like, it's just crazy. Dear. Oh, we've got Gracie with some language there. I saw Gracie's apology, but didn't see the language, to be fair. Right, so scrolling down more. All right. Spark saying, I stand corrected, never trust anyone. I don't know about that. I think you can trust some people to an extent. I think you should never trust anybody 100% with everything, even yourself, because you will let yourself down as much as anyone else. So, and there's different levels of trust, isn't there, Sparker? There's the trust that the person will be like will stand up essentially and do the right thing. But there's also trust in somebody else's abilities, trust in their awareness to know when to do the thing they're supposed to do, or what they should do and stuff like that. So there's different things about trust. And I'm pretty good, like I trust Noah to do the right thing by me, and same as that with some of my friends. I don't trust my family to do the right by me, which says something. But yeah, but then there are people that I trust to do the right thing, but don't necessarily trust with their abilities to get things done right or well. Except me, of course, Sparky. Yeah, you can trust me implicitly. Honestly, I would not lead you astray at all, would I, Spark? Oh, Ellie, you've got into a nice argument today. How is it a nice argument? You're gonna have to explain that one. Sienna's talking about, does anyone have Fabby weekend plans on the horizon? Can you put your... I mean, I've got some good plans. I'll be heading to a board game expo with my friend Luke, and Ethan and will go, as well as Luke's son and one of his son's friends, I think. So there'll be 5 of us heading over to do that. He's been before, I've never been. So yeah, book the tickets for that, and I'll be surprising with Ethan with that. Like, when I see him on Saturday, and we're going to go and do that on Sunday. Obviously, I'll be seeing the boys on Saturday, which would be nice. Dan was saying, I was diagnosed 2 years ago this August. I hate it, can't do anything without being in pain. Oh, so if you were diagnosed 2 years ago, though, in August, how long had you been having like the pain and stuff? And also, I'm curious how it started, Damsel, because I'm assuming it wasn't just like one day you woke up and everything was painful. I'm guessing there was like a slow kind of like lead into it. Sienna, how rude. Are you saying you can't quite see Owly? Is that what you're saying? Or is it or is it my hair? Are you saying my hair is not quite in? Let's see. I'm assuming you meant my hair, Sienna. I don't know what on earth else you could have been talking about there. So I will put my hair in. There you go. I'm going to leave that one modded, Sienna. What's Gracie screaming about? Can you put... oh, Gracie's in pain. Oh. Did they not give you any pain meds when you went to A&E, Gracie? That seems weird that they wouldn't give you something. And Ellie's struggling as well. I am seriously trying to catch up, and I'm not catching up much. Chris saying, so you buy or nah? What? Are you asking? Are you asking my sexual preferences? Wouldn't you like to know? Oh, dear me. Dan was saying, I have my family and close friends, but struggling with to find a painkiller to work. I don't do well with most of them. Yeah, I guess that's a real struggle because you want one that works, but also one that doesn't leave you basically like either like, because it might get rid of pain, but it might make you feel worse in other ways. You know, sort of like lightheaded or like dizzy or like cloudy judgment, whatever. Or there's so many different side effects, different painkillers, isn't there? I can't even list them all, and I'm not even aware of them all of them, to be fair. But yeah, sorry to the young teens. I am literally scrolling past your stuff. I do apologise. I'm just trying to get to the bottom. I see you guys talking to each other, so I'm just going to literally keep scrolling. And he's saying, I don't trust most of my family as well. Oh dear, we're in the same boat, Ellie. I know the feeling. So he's saying, are any of you struggling in pain right now? I'm sending you, any of you struggling in pain right now, I'm sending you all a hug. Do you know what? I'm going to send them a big hug too. Big hugs, there you go. So me and Sue both giving the big hugs out. And Dan was saying, so I already have that thing. Oh, so that's cocodamol. Ah, that's how you'd say that. It's a drug. It's a cocodamol. Okay. Now I know. Now I've got context. I can work out how to pronounce that word, and I think I've probably got it right. I'm on them tonight for. As for tramadol, I can't function on those. I tried duloxetine and lost a whole week of my life. Wow. Doctor said we just got to keep trying. Yeah. I mean, there's not much else for it. Everyone responds so differently to the different meds. You just got to keep trying. Damn cocodamol is making me cross-eyed. Oh, dear me. I do wish I could come and give Damsel a big old hug. I feel like she really needs one. She's obviously really struggling. I've got Rosie Rose saying, how old is Luke's son? I won't be giving out details about my friends, like kids. Sorry, Rosie Rose. You might notice I generally don't say, I'll say Luke's name because it's general. He's been on the stream, and that's fair enough. But you may have noticed in the past, like when Noah's been on and stuff, and we've been chatting, he likes to keep a lot of his personal stuff personal, and unless somebody's given me permission to give details about themselves, I'm not really going to give a lot of details out. Have to be respectful of that sort of thing. I'm sure sometimes I've slipped out tiny little snippets of information about people without realising. I do my best. I'm not without fault, but yeah. But when there's a direct question like that, I'm like, yeah, I know I'm not supposed to answer that. Eddie's saying it was a nice argument, but wow, I'm that far behind. Oh my God, I'm going fast as I can. I'm still so far behind. I'm going to just have to jump everything in a bit. Right, so, oh wow, I've got answers here from things I asked ages ago. Right, it was a nice argument because it was with a teacher and I could shout at her for annoying me. I may have got too angry and shoved past her and my fave teacher before I lost it with her. I see you like arguing with some of your teachers then, fair enough. Rosie is in love with everyone, that's fair enough. Right, okay, go live when you see the other son. No, I won't be doing that, Rosie Rose. I want to. I don't get a lot of time with him. I want that time to be focused on him and not on a stream. If he asked to do a stream, I would do it, but I'm not going to be suggesting that to him as a thing. We've got Sarah Syndrome back in saying you look handsome in that jumper. Don't take it off unless I tell you, mister. Fair enough. I shall keep it on until you tell me otherwise. Ah, dear me. Wow, at that point, I can see Ellie saying, no, your hair and head, that's better. That must be where I literally chose. That's ages ago. Oh my God, I'm so far behind. Right. How does your van have a radiator? And a wooden door. Because the radiator's fed by the stove. So water goes through and feeds that. And yeah, that works really well. And the door is not, it's part wooden. So it has a wooden sort of, I wouldn't call it a fascia, but also might do. But essentially, the door is actually made out of polycarbonate sheets with an aluminium frame that I built myself. And then I did wood paneling at the back. But the bits that are grey aren't actually, they're made of wood, but they're actually made of cork, which is wood, but they're made of cork sheets and then painted with some floor paint, which is like a natural one. So that's washable, and kind of like if you get like dirt from the boots and wellies at store, and it can be washed off. But yeah, so it's kind of wooden on the inside, but that's just the inside part. The actual main structure of it is made of aluminium, and yeah, it's a barn door as well, which was a really good idea to make it into a barn door. And I like the fact that I did that. But welcome to the chat, Stuart. I can see you've been obviously watching some of my videos, so I appreciate that. Excuse me. And Damsel's answering me, and I'm finally reading it. I do apologise. The pain came on gradually. I started noticing things I used to do, like cutting my garden. I physically couldn't move for about 3 or 4 days after it. Oh, wow. That's... yeah, and it's that kind of like worry that something's going wrong or something's not right. But then, I mean, how long did it take them to diagnose you? Like once you went in like for it, I mean, did you have to wait long and worry about it, or was it fairly quick? You no longer, I'm assuming that's an autocorrect from van to can, you no longer van living. No, I will be when I either get my van back or, either way, I'm getting my van back, because if they still are going down the write-off option, then I will opt to do the buyback so I can get it back and live in it while I build a new van. If they choose to repair it instead and roll back the write-off, then obviously I'm going to get my van back. So either way, at some point in the near future, hopefully very quickly, I will have my van back. And to be fair, it just depends. If they go down the write-off move and I can get more money, which I think I can. Like, I feel like, I mean, they lowballed me with the buyback, get me about 7.5 grand, I think it was. I reckon I can get them up a few grand on that. I don't know, like, how far could that go up before they decide to actually just, the repair will be more economical. I mean, they give you no information at all. They said they'd sent me an email. I had not received any emails, and I don't know if in the email they were supposed to like justify their prices. I don't know, but certainly now that I've given some information and some evidence to show that my van's worth a lot more, if they want to argue that, they're going to have to provide me some evidence back. If they come back to me and say no, we don't agree with your assessment, I'm going, well, you're going to need to show me some of your workings out then, and we'll see where you differ. You can't just tell me that you need all my evidence, but you can just say a number. So yeah, we'll be dealing with that. But yes, still van living. It's just paused right now while I'm in this B&B. Could have been worse, I guess. Could have been completely out on my bum cheeks. So yeah. I apologise. I'm not getting involved in the whole like talking about the pain stuff and that. All to the lovely ladies. I'm aware that you're all talking about that, and my heart goes out to you. But there's so much talk about that. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this chat. It's ridiculous. Yeah, everybody needs at least one roll of gaffer tape in this chat, I reckon. We've got Stuart in. Hi, Stuart. Whoa. Scrolling. Chris, I'm not going to lie, you're kind of giving sugar daddy. I don't think I'm anyone in sugar daddy because I live in a van and I ain't got that much money. I can't be paying out for somebody else. I mean, what's it called? Like, I could do with a sugar mummy, that's for sure. Sarah syndrome saying Molly. Yes, Sarah. What do you need? Is it Sarah or Sarah? I read that as Sarah, but Sienna said it was Sarah, and I'm confused because it could be either. I've got more mad chat. Yeah, Sienna said my bunda is in pain. Hug away. Wow, yeah, I'm so far behind, and I'm not gaining. I keep swiping to see, but Sarah is right. I'm so far behind. I do apologise. Oh, why is there a radiator behind me? Well, because I'm in a room. I see. I don't know. Right. Oh, you're answering for me. Right, I'm just catching up. Oh, damn son, there's no diagnosis for fibromyalgia. It's a case of doing bloods and tests to rule everything else out first. Oh, so it's kind of like one of those ones where they don't really know F all about it, and they just go, well, it must be that then. That's not good because it means they know almost nothing about it and they can't really help you much, I guess. So they just give you pain meds and fingers crossed. Chris saying, not handsome. Uni early tomorrow, so I'm off. Take care, Chris. Lovely having you here. Hope to see you again soon. So there is no test for. Right, so just trying to catch up. Banana's in. Hi, Banana. I see you got a new profile pic. I can't even see what it is, to be fair, but it looks colourful, so I like it. Hurry up and catch up, says Ellie. I am hurrying. I'm doing my best. I know you're thinking, when is Fire Banana going to join? I was wondering when you were going to join, and you're here. Tony's in saying, can you clarify your position on the something war? Be clear on whether you want Britain to join the war or not. I'm going to be honest, right? I know F all about that. Today I heard something about some war, only through an article saying about how fuel prices are going to be going up. And I'm going to be honest, I don't want the fuel prices to go up. That's my opinion on anything to do with that war. So yeah, that's all I know about it. I don't want my fuel prices to go up. I don't know anything about the war though. I don't know who's what, where, why, and anything. And yeah, I have no opinion on it because I don't know anything about it at all. And I think anyone who has an opinion on something when they are ill-informed is a bit daft. My only opinion can be that I went to a petrol station in Letchworth today at Sainsbury's. No, not Letchworth, sorry, Stevenage. Yesterday, the price for the fuel was 137.9. And I was like, I won't get it today, I'll do it tomorrow, because I was in a bit of a rush. And I went there today and it was 141.9, meaning I've had to pay 4p more a litre between yesterday and today, and I was a bit fuming. I also know that there's no point going anywhere else because it's always the cheapest one around, which means everyone else's has gone up as well. And I've just been stuffed by something. I didn't know what caused it. And then I was randomly reading some, just like when you go onto Google's homepage and it kind of like on your phone, and it kind of has a few articles underneath, and it just caught my eye, and I thought, what's that about petrol prices going up? And I think it caught my eye because I just dealt with that today, and I looked at it and thought, oh my God, there's a war going on somewhere and it's caused my prices to go up. Idiots. That's my level of thing. I mean, obviously war's bad across the board, and I think we should just stop having wars with everybody, but definitely when it means I've got to pay more for my fuel. Jeez. Right, skipping. Make love, not war, right, Molly? Yeah. Although sometimes making love is a bit like war. You know, sometimes, you know, a little bit of punishment has to get dished out. And, you know, it's just the way it goes. What's Damsel saying? Wish you all the best of luck when they do. Keep us posted. What on earth is that a reference to? Is that something I said? Is that something to one of the girls? You're talking about the surgery for Ellie. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure Ellie will keep us posted on anything like surgeries now. Damn, so my middle daughter has to get minor heart surgery this year. We're waiting for the appointment to come in. Ooh, I mean that's got to be a bit scary, isn't it? You put the word minor in front of it, isn't really helping. When I'm honest, it's still heart surgery. Is it going to be open heart or is it going to be like keyhole? That's the question. Like, I mean, not that. I mean, I don't know. I think I'd rather someone go keyhole if they had to do anything with me. Obviously, it's probably safer, less recovery times and stuff. But I mean, either way you look at it, that's a scary thing to have to get on a table for something like that. Oh. I hope it all goes well. I certainly hope it'll all be fine. I'm sure it will be. Sure it will be. Teddy's in. Hi, Teddy. Yes, he has. Could you return the shoe, please? There we go. Standard reply over. How are you doing, Teddy? Hope you're well. And I'm caught up. Woohoo! I'm at the bottom. Oh, I've just got to go back up a little bit. Oh, we've got some modded chat. It was Damsel. I'm sure it's okay. I'm gonna show it before I even read it. They're going up through her groin to get to the nerve that needs to be removed. Oh, like they're doing a bit of a. Oh, well, it's not as bad as it sounded when you say heart surgery. But yeah, it's obviously still not nice. But yeah, that's mad. They go all the way up from down there. But I guess that's how it works. Ellie is under instructions. Sit down and don't move. Molly made it to the end finally. Had us on the edge there for a while. You're always on the edge, Sienna, which is where you should be, really. A nerve around her heart. Yeah, well, I kind of guessed that when you said it's heart surgery, but they're dealing with a nerve. But that is mad. I mean, it's mad what they can do now. It's like, you know, modern medicine is nothing short of miraculous, to be fair. When my dad came off his ladder, well, it was sort of like half off his ladder off and half off a roof because he was doing something stupid on a ladder on a roof at the same time, which he shouldn't have been doing, and fell off, and he literally just snapped his foot clean off. To the point where if this was his foot and this is his ankle and it should have been like this, it was like that instead. Like, and like I was stood there when this paramedic, well, team of paramedics, but one in particular, she was yanking, like everyone else is holding him, and she's yanking on the foot to get it, because obviously the tendons and that are still attached. So she's pulling on it to stretch them out and get it back onto the bone, because they wanted to set it into position before they took him to the hospital. And I watched him just basically pass out from the pain and the agony of it. And I was just like, damn. And I was like, I'm pretty sure he's lost this thing. But somehow they reattached that. And I'm like, I mean, that's a miracle. You think about it, you go back, don't even have to go back far. I reckon you go back probably, I don't know, probably even less than 100 years, he probably lost that thing. But definitely go back a few hundred years. I mean, he was a goner, let alone like not having a foot. It was ridiculous what they can do now. So yeah, I'm impressed. But then, going through the groin to get to a nerve around the heart to fix it, impressive stuff. There's only 6 doctors in Scotland that can do this surgery. Wow. I asked, what's the worst that could happen? I wish I didn't ask. He said she could have a heart attack or a stroke. Oh, yeah. Well, that's what's the scary thing about heart surgery. Doesn't matter what they're doing. Like it can go wrong. So yeah, there were some questions you can definitely wish you haven't asked. Are your family not about to help you, Ellie? It sounds a bit strange that they're not around to just like help you out a little bit if you need to get around. Dan was like, bum your way across the floor then, Ellie. I don't know why Ellie has to bum her way across the floor. I guess I've missed some stuff as I've been scrolling. I don't know what is going on with Ellie. Rach saying, Gracie, I have metal rods in my back and had my spine fused. It's a very successful op, so hope they sort you out. I find pain is better if you focus on positive things. Yeah, well, this is like part of that thing they did with that, that like the longest running survey, where they were looking at people's lives and what makes it long and happy. Excuse me. And they were saying that if you have a like a loving, supportive partner, or like at least, or potentially like friendships and family and stuff around you, that having those connections and people there to like help you with the burden makes it like so much better than if you have to deal with the pain or the burden or whatever you're dealing with, as well as being lonely and feeling like isolated. And the thing is, it's not like just having people around is enough. They actually have to be there for you. You have to feel like you're supported. So there's a big difference between having people around who are relying on you but not necessarily got your back or considerate of your needs or anything like that. And especially if you feel like you can't rely on them because they're just going to resent you for basically needing the help. So it's one of those things, they have to be supportive, but if you have that, it does make it so much better. It's ridiculous. Are we all just listing everything that's wrong with us in here? What's going on? Night, you amazing people. I'm so proud. Good night, Eddie. I hope you're feeling better in the morning. I hope everything's good. So damsel, she'll be in the most safe hands, but I know that's a little consolation when you're a parent. These doctors are masters of the craft, though. Here for you, though, Peter. That's lovely. Yeah, I think I reflect those sentiments as well. I think we're here if you need to chat, damsel. I know that this kind of thing, even though it's not you going through it, it's very stressful when it's a child. It's yeah. It's that feeling of like not being able to control it. You just have to put your faith and trust in somebody else with essentially the life of your kid. Couldn't imagine. I've never had to actually do that, and I couldn't imagine the feeling of having to do that. Like, I've never liked it taking the boys to the doctors, and it's like when I took Henry to the dentist and he had to have some like what was it? I think he had the tooth pulled. That was it. He was having a tooth pulled out, and it's obviously not a pleasant procedure. But I was there with him to help him through it. But it's not easy. It puts a real strain on you because you have to be strong for them. And yeah, Yeah, it's tough stuff. Rach saying, I have rheumatoid arthritis, so my spine was collapsing. Pain was better after operation, but I find yoga and keeping moving helps most. Yeah, like I imagine something like that. If you're too sedentary and you stay in the same position for too long, it probably causes a lot of problems, and you need to stay flexible. So I used to have back problems where, like, if I was in bed too long or if I was sat still for too long, it would be a real problem. So I'd have to try to stay moving. And I found now that I'm more active in life, because that was a lot of that came from back when I wasn't really window cleaning and I was sitting around behind a computer all day long. And we're not built to do that. We're built to be active and moving around. Now I don't have any back problems at all because I'm back into being active, and it makes a big difference. I'm a little bit behind, but I'm just about behind. Sin's saying, Rachel, I've always wanted to try yoga. Does it help with your mental health also? I've heard it can be very zen. Yeah, I guess if you've got the right yoga instructor, it can be very relaxing. I think with the wrong yoga instructor, it could be the opposite, you know. Like for me, it might be, you know, yoga instructor with that, you know, hour-shaped body, and she's bending over and all that. I'm like, no, that's too much. I'm not relaxed watching that. I'm something else indeed. And I'm guessing if Sienna, you had some hunky man bending over in front of you and bulges happening in all the right places, I think you'd be anything but relaxed. Oh dear, I do my. Oh, I've swiped. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. And I've got to do the chat thing again. Hey, right. Are you blaming the yoga, are you, Gracie? Like a pretzel, Sienna, honestly. In shorts with killer legs, concentration would be out the window. Yeah, exactly, Sienna, that's what I'm talking about. So I was saying, this now an 18 rated stream. No, I don't think it's quite that far. We're just having some teasers. Teddy saying, are you still in the hotel? Yes, yes, I am. And I don't know that that's going to change for a little while still. I'll be honest, the insurance company have been a bit useless with it all, as per usual. I've got to be honest, Luca, the guy who's been dealing with this, did seem very adamant that this was the last time me and him were going to have to be speaking and dealing with it. And I'm like, I don't think it is. I honestly don't think your teammates are going to be, or your colleagues, or whatever you want to call it, I don't think they're going to be dealing with this properly. I like the way that they basically say that they've got different departments. Like, so they have the total loss department, they have the third party claims department, blah blah blah. Essentially, it's just a load of people who work from home, as far as I can tell, and they have some people who are obviously supervisors who they will then go on a quick video call with or voice call with or whatever to confirm something. But mostly it's just a whole host of people from wherever, all around the world probably, who essentially are working from home, and they ain't part of a team, they ain't part of a department. They're literally just, that's their speciality. Like, there's the person who's very good at following the script and doesn't mind being like pushy and like can ignore people's stress and stuff, and that's going to be a person working in total loss. And then a person who's got like a bit of a more of a nice manner and can sort of deal with people a little bit more friendly, they'll be in the third party claims department. And then the person who doesn't really want to deal with any of that is probably going to be in the person you get through to at first, who basically just asks you for all the security details and then passes you on to whichever department that they think you need to be in. It's just like, but there's no like, they make it sound like there's a department of people like in an office somewhere. It's like, it's not at all. And I know this because the first time I talked to some of the people, like, in fact, the first person I talked to, they even acknowledged that the facade of being in an office was broken by the fact that a delivery driver had turned up at her doorstep while we were on call. I was just like, that's funny. Sarah saying, come stay with me. Well, I might have to take you up on that if they don't keep providing me with the B&B. I tell you, they might give me some right trouble. Sienna making us all laugh. What are you talking about now, Gracie? Rachel, I think you should change your career, Sienna, to a stand-up comedian. I have a joke in mind that I could say about that, but I'm not going to say it. Right, I'm looking at the time. It's getting on to 10:30. I need to have a quick game of this again, don't I? Now I've caught up with the chat, and it's calmed down just a little bit. It's been quite a good night though. Everyone's been in. We've got little Thumb Theodore back in. I'm a Thumb. Yes, I remember you. You've been in before. Welcome back. How are you doing? Watch that. Gracie, trying to be spamming the chat too much. Well, it's been a good night for me, Gracie, because I've got so many of the family in. That's what I mean. And there's been some interesting chat. I mean, not good to hear everyone's in so much pain, I'll be honest. As I said, I wish I could come and give you all one big hug to make you feel better. Kiss the boo-boos, but obviously, no can do. Maybe we should do like some sort of, maybe we can play another round of that game, whatever it was, and the win, and the prize can be I come kiss the winner's boo-boo better. I don't know how many takers there'll be for tickets for that game, but oh dear. What on earth is Gracie talking about? For you, from me, 6 hours and 8. What on earth? Wait, you know, to boost, blah, 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 nice. A little Thumb saying, fine, camping was okay. How are thou? Thou is fine. Well, as fine as can be expected when my home is like many, many miles away from me, and I am waiting to hear back from an insurance company who have been treating me like a fool and mismanaging the entire process and making it far more stressful than it needs to be. But yeah, today not too bad. Just a long day of work and a bit tired. Sienna can kiss my boo-boos when I get them. Oh dear. I have a feeling you're not talking about the same kind of boo-boos I am. Little Thumb Theodore saying, I have a boo-boo on my thumb, will you kiss it? For sure. A kiss for the boo-boo. There we go. We have Paula Concarin saying, good evening. And then Paula, it sounds like you're saying good evening to yourself, but yeah. Good evening, Paula. Welcome to the chat. Always nice having fresh people in. So he's saying, will you kiss your boy's shoe? I don't have one available. The problem is, Teddy, he lost it. So I can't. But if you returned it, then I could kiss it. So he's saying, I really love you when you are in the chat, Sienna. You always make me smile. Isn't that lovely? You guys are always so sweet to each other. It always warms my heart, that does. Right, straight off the bat, use the bad ones. You know me, I like to use the bad cards, get them done. Right, he says, and then he pulls out that nonsense as well. We're going to put that one there. We'll see what we get. Ooh, what can we do here? I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. These do not work together. I'm going to do that. I have a plan. I'm going to then do that. Very annoying. Very annoying. Let's do that. Ooh, Ooh, that's good. We'll put that there. We like that. And there is a piece that would close all these off. I'm going to be a bit lame and just put that one there and see what we get. I'm going to close that one off. I'm going to close that one off. Just use the closers. There we go. And then 2 here, and then the 3 here. If we can get lucky, we could get this done quick and easy. No such luck, but we can do that. I like this. Use what we already have. There we go. Now that's down to 1, and we've got a double up there. Not bad. Ooh, the double down to 1, and we could potentially. Look at this. This is one way to play this. I think you guys can see what I'm up to here. It's off. It's off a little bit. Let's. There we go. That's good. All right. Okay. So, all we've got going on in the chat. Touche, laugh out loud, says Teddy. Yes, I got you good, didn't I, Teddy? Dearie me. That owl in the back is staring into my soul. He is indeed. He's actually checking out for any tasty bellies about. That's his job. He spends the night sleeping with my son up in his bed, and every morning comes down with a piece of belly for me to eat. That is the game that me and Ethan play all the time. I'm that dad who, like, when my boys were little, would gobble their bellies, and it lasted even till now, where basically Ethan will come down in the morning and I will be telling big jokes about how his owlie has flown down and already given me a piece to eat. And yeah, that's dad stuff for you, isn't it? Shout out in the chat if you ever did that with your kids, or if your parents ever did that with you, where you kind of do the whole and gobble their belly when they're babies. All right, could use the really bad one here. I think I will. I'm going to use the worst one. I think it's Omen Little Fun. My full handle is Al Sparker. It's just an affirmation of my existence. Yeah, that's essentially Sparker just sitting on my shoulder there, really. That's what it is. I need the fox in front to stare deep into my soul. That's not how you say soul. That's the wrong kind of soul. Yeah, then you spoiled it too. Oh dear. Chris asking, do you work out or anything? I work, is what I do. I don't work out, I work. I work for a living. I get manual labour. Well, not manual labour. I clean windows. So I carry a ladder around all day long and lift it sort of wherever it needs to be, and then I climb them, the ladders up and down with that step aerobics essentially. And then at the top, it's basically like doing some form of like, I wouldn't necessarily call it Pilates or yoga. It's more like that kind of martial arts where they're basically doing the slow stretches. But it's somewhere between there and yoga, because I'm definitely like sort of stretching about and balancing around and all that at the top of it. Yeah, so it's all very active, basically, is what I'm saying. And yeah, I get fit that way. How about you, Chris? Do you work out? Do you do anything like that? So he's saying, if you did a bath stream like I requested, we could see the product of said work. Yes, you could. So I'm guessing you want to see me do a stream from the bath. We'll have to take a vote on that, I think. I don't think anyone really wants to see that. That'd be an awful stream. Just boring for everybody, I'm sure. Oh, I don't like this at all. This is not going well now. This is going to get complicated. I think, which way am I off? I need to move this camera around. I feel like I've messed this up somehow. All right, let's see. There we go. That's more central. We like that. Hey. Chris saying, I'd enjoy watching that. We've got Nossin saying, is Tony? What on earth? Yeah, I go to the gym, says Chris. Yeah, I used to go to the gym. I used to do a little bit of free weights and like a bit of cardio on the machines. I did find it easier to do running on the machine just because it is easier, but also I've got something to watch in front of me, so I can put my headphones on and just watch something. When I go running, like just out and about, it's so much harder to actually run. Yeah, because all I can think about is how how tired my legs feel. Not saying, how are you, Tony? Oh, wait. You're referring to the men behaving badly thing, I imagine. I remember somebody being in a while ago talking about that. You can call me Bob, as in Bob the Builder. I'd rather that one. At least he can fix things, and that's more like me. I can fix anything I can. I'm like Bob the Builder incarnate. Right, I don't like any of this. All of these moves are bad. We finally got a C closer and we can't even use it. I hate that. I might. I don't like that. If I did that though. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I could do that and C close that. I like it. I don't like it a lot. I'm going to stick to doing this. That's the play. Let's see what we get. All right. Turn that down to 1. We have a C close point now, which is good. But we also need to figure this out. Can you fix my back door? I cannot fix a back door. No, of course I can fix a back door. Easy done. Quite often all you need to do is lube it up plenty. You know, if it's making too much noise when you open and closing it, I mean, it's a common issue with back doors. It's just, you know, they don't get used very often, so they get seized up and they don't open up as easy as you think. Oh dear. No, you're fine, Chris. I was only teasing before. No, I'm straight, Chris. I'm pretty relaxed about things. We keep it fairly PG in here just because we've got teenagers about, but yeah, I'm fairly relaxed about these sort of things. Or what am I going to do with this? The problem is they're the same one. If they were the mirror image, I could put one here and then join them up, but whoa, that's annoying. What am I to do with this nonsense? I don't like any of this. I'm just going to have to do that. I have two still. Sparker saying, so selfish. What on earth? My back seized again. There you go. See, told you. Now Gracie's back has seized. Get some lubricant on that. With WD-40 up your back, and it won't seize at all. It'll unseize it. There you go. I mean, I think the only real way to fix your back, though, Gracie, is a good bit of gaffer tape. You know, just strap it around your midriff until it basically straightens up your spine. You know, just bend you in the right way. Gaffer tape it around. Job done. It'll just hold you in place. That's sorted. Easy done. Bit of a shame, says Chris. I'm guessing you're. I can't see by the handles always, but you look like you're. Are you a fella, Chris? Because Chris could be a like any gender name, to be honest. So I'm gonna go with that. That's not a great option, but it's the best I've got. Well, I'm off stream a little bit with this. I might have to move the whole thing, and it's also getting too far away from me. It's really annoying moving it on here though, because you have to just do it a few pieces at a time. It's very difficult to get this to work properly, and I practically mess it up like that. All right, let's do that. Let's get that one done. Move these two pieces, these two pieces, these two pieces, and we can move a section. That section goes there. We close that off. Move that piece there, that one there, and then 3 of these, and that's where we're at. Okay. Hopefully that's in the stream. I don't know. No, that bit's out now. Oh, it's so frustrating. Whatever. Right, let's swing it round. There you go. Whee. Right. Greg is in. Hi, Greg. Good to see you, man. I checked out your channel earlier, and I see that you do a bit of streaming as well. You go one step further than me, and you have people join you. Eventually, I want to try to do that, but and I did work out. Is it StreamYard? I think I've got like the account on that sort of thing figured out, but I need to actually get around to trying to use it, which I have failed to do so as of yet. But that is really cool of you, Greg, and I think that's really cool. I quite like how you just kind of just invite people to just join, like whenever they like. I don't know. Is that are you just like letting anybody join, or is that like people that you know that are joining? I wasn't quite sure, because the one I saw that you recently did, somebody joined you, but it seemed like you knew the lad, and it was somebody you'd potentially talked to before. Everybody. Okay, that's cool. That is cool. So very inclusive, a bit like my channel. I like that. Respect you for that, Greg. If I ever catch you streaming, I might join up. I assume I could just use my phone and just join in, but I haven't yet to catch you streaming. But I might well consider joining your one of your streams if it so happens that the timing works out. Oh, this is a bit annoying. Still got bad pieces. What am I going to do with this nonsense? I think I'm going to do that and use the closer to kind of immediately fix the damage of having this one over here. Now we've got 3 together, and then the 2 in the sort of... Oh, that's good. That's good. Look, we've used that piece to... Excellent. That's good. That's what we want to see. There's no need to make me a mod. I'm too lazy to be mod, to be fair, for anyone's channel. All right. Oh, sorry, Chris, have you been asking me questions? Sorry. He said he's not. Oh, Chris says, "Yep, I'm a bloke." Fair enough. How old are you, Chris? I think I don't. If you don't mind me asking, and I assume you're from the UK like me. Sienna answering for me. Yeah, divorced. Chris noticing that Sienna's name is Sienna the Tranny. Ernie is in. Hi, Ernie. Good to see you. How are you? I hope you're well. Rach is off to bed. Take care, Rach. Yeah, looking forward to the Friday. One more day of work to go. But for me, it's not just the weekend off, it's the weekend and the next week. Well, actually, I have an extra job booked in next week, but it's been an easy one. 20 in July. Wow, you're young'un then, Chris. Lovely to have you in, though. We have a few young'uns. We haven't seen Cat for a while. Cat is, I think, I can't remember. Cat's 18 now, isn't he? Yeah, I think he had his 18th birthday. But yeah, we haven't seen him for a little bit, which is a shame. He used to come in like every stream, but I think because it's got busy, he's not happy to sit around waiting for me to finally acknowledge him being in the stream. Sometimes I'm a bit slow to spot people who are in sometimes, which is not so good. You know, there's no good move here. Teddy asking, do you have a wife? I had one. I no longer have one. I am a divorcee. I am divorced. I can just fix that right now. Just close it up. And we've got just 2 left and they're pointing at each other. We might be able to do something here. Let's try to work this out. Let's try to work it out. If I did that there like that, they'd be too close. That's no good. Oh, I can hear somebody. Oh, no, I've got to be careful here. If I make them go towards each other, I could end up getting stuffed. So actually I'm going to do this and start working them away from each other. Now I have that. It's going to, well, actually, what if I do that, work them back towards each other? If I can get them same level, oh, you joke. You absolute joke. What is that? Wait now. What am I to do with this? How's our son doing today? Do you mean, how is my son? I assume he's okay. He'll be with his mum. So yeah, my boys are both with their mum at the moment. Let me go back up. I think I've missed some stuff. Greg saying, you're a good person and a very nice person. You do a great job. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate that. And Emily saying, I'm good. I had a very hot day here today. Fan is still going full blast. Have you been okay? Yes, my day was hot as well. I had like a very warm day outside working. I'm just going to do this. I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but I don't think it's too dangerous. Oh. Could I use that, then connect them up? Maybe. Yeah, I like this. I'm going to go here. Then I'm going to close this one off here. Then I'm going to close the C close. And we've done it. We've got a dub. A second dub on the board. The W. There we go. Lovely jobs. Right, let's get you guys over. That's enough games for today. I need to focus on this chat. There's a lot of people in. So we need to focus. We need to do the chit-chatty thing. We'll have Owly peeking right over the shoulder. Look at that. And the hair is an absolute mess, but whatever. One of them days. So let me just get that around over there. Let me just check some more chat out. Emily saying, oh yeah, I bet you had it way hotter than me though, being in South Africa. Teddy saying, I'm a divorcee too, really? I mean, mine's fairly fresh, about, I think, about 1.5 years, like since we split up. I mean, we're still waiting on the divorce to be finalised, I guess, but you know, all the paperwork's in, and it just takes some time, doesn't it? It's a long, slow process. We weren't really in a rush to get it all sorted. It was just one of those things we had to get all the other things sorted first, you know, living situations, all that sort of thing. Damsel saying, sorry guys, I need to go. I'm drifting off. You go and have a good night, Damsel. We appreciate you having been here in your current condition. It's a real testament to your commitment to our community that you're here. So I really appreciate you. But yeah, sweet dreams. I hope you have a completely out like a light sleep and no issues with your pain, and that you wake up all refreshed. My good vibes are being sent to you as we speak, and will continue to do so throughout the night. Oh, so what are you saying to Teddy about what would you prefer? Hang on, let me just see. So, do you still have your bits? That's a personal question there. Oh, dearie me. No, I've got them. I've got them. That's they're in my pocket. Oh dear. Dad joke. Oh, you want the dad joke? Yeah, I should do the dad joke. I should have done it before Ellie went by, but never mind. She can re-watch the stream, or if she asks, I can tell her what it was tomorrow. So, dad joke of the day. Here we go. Singing in the shower is fun until you get soap in your mouth. Then it becomes a soap opera. That's cringe and also bad. I don't like that one. Singing in the shower is fun until you get the soap in your mouth. Then it becomes a soap opera. I mean, only if you're singing opera. Yeah, terrible dad joke. Spark agreeing that my jumper is. To be honest, this is actually a very warm jumper, and it's just covering up my microphone and my rather tragic T-shirt that I do need to replace really. Only saying we are in our hottest month of the year, 34 degrees plus humidity heading towards autumn. Wow. I do not envy you that heat, Emily. That is I mean, not too bad if you're by the coast and you can have a swim. But yeah, that's a bit rough. I'm going to be honest, that's quite a lot to deal with. Yeah, I quite like the cooler months because you can wrap up warm, but there's not much you can do once you get so hot. You're just like, oh, and I end up going through ice lollies galore. And I don't mind a bit of aircon, but I don't like relying on it. I don't like that at all. Chris saying, from near Northampton originally. What is this? Someone asking you about something? Blah, 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 blah. Are you responding to me asking where from? Is that something? Because that was ages ago. Am I really? I'm not very from it. Yeah. Everybody saying yes, your jumper is really cool. I mean, I literally got this from a charity shop, or for any Americans in from a thrift store. But well, no, it's not even a thrift store. It's a charity shop. So, but yeah, it's and that was years ago. I just had this laying around and wanted to put something on that's slightly bit warmer than just my T-shirt. And it was either this or my red shirt again, which is hanging on the door, which I didn't think. So, hey, Dan Gaze is in. Good evening, Dan. Long time no speak. That's true, yeah. Where am I? I'm in a B&B in Henlow. Because I'm still dealing with the aftermath of the crash, Dan. It's a fairly typical thing. The insurance company is dragging their feet, causing problems, and just being overall just pain in the backside. So yeah, still no resolution on the van as yet. They want to write it off. Well, they have written it off, but I have a feeling they might try to reverse that soon. Yeah, I'm all good, mate. I mean, stressed a little bit and could do with actually a good night's sleep in my own bed. Yeah. Have I got my bits over? I've got most of my stuff from the van in terms of just the stuff I needed to survive for a couple of weeks. Unfortunately, I didn't get everything, and I'm starting to wish I had because they've had it for a lot longer than I expected. I figured at best I could expect to have some level of resolution within maybe a week because they'd push it through pretty quickly. From the point where they took the van, I wasn't too fussed while I had the hire van and I had my van to live in. But once they took it, I was thinking, yeah, they'll probably only take it for like a week, figure it out. Then, I thought, a few days to have a look at it, because the guys just got to look at it basically, do an inspection, figure out some costing, send it off to the insurance company, a day or two for them to work it all out, and then they'll tell me what's going on, and then maybe like half a week to a week and a half, somewhere in there for the fix. And I thought 2 weeks tops, surely. But if I'm lucky and they realise that they've got to put me up in a hotel, so they'll probably push things through maybe a week. And obviously, I was just being naive. They're taking forever. Yeah, well, yeah, I was basically the victim, Dan, you're right. And they at first were treating it fairly fair, like, because I was dealing with their third-party claims department, and they're the people who've put me up in here and got me the hire van. But they've made the decision to write it off, and the total loss department, which is the people who deal with the total loss, basically, they are rubbish, and they have labelled me, and they have tried really nasty tactics, and yeah, it really stressed me out. And now I'm in a bit of a battle with them, a bit of an argument about the value of the van. And I think if I win my argument, they're just going to fix the van, because it'd be too much money to give me. But there we go. They wanted to give me less than 10 grand for it, Dan. And I'll be honest, I found pretty good corroborating evidence that my van's worth about 30 to 40,000 pounds. At the very least, it's worth, I reckon, 25 and up. And yeah, I don't think that if they're forced to agree to any level that is even close to that they would then decide to give me the money. I think they'll roll back their decision to write it off, and they'll repair it instead. But then that's another fight, because they'll probably not want to do anything about expunging the history of their mistake. Because essentially, here's the thing, right? If they just decide to fix it, they fix it, give me my van back, job done, right? If they decide to write it off and I fix it, there's always a mark on the vehicle to say it was a write-off, which means higher insurance premiums, and you can't get as much for it if you're selling it, right? So they've essentially devalued my vehicle and also cost me more in premiums, just because I got it fixed instead of them, which is ridiculous, because the car isn't fixed any differently, or van or whatever. It's not fixed any differently, but that's the way it goes. They have this level of power over everybody, which I think is well out of order. I don't know what politicians got bribed to allow insurance companies to basically, I don't mind it being a legal requirement for people driving having to have insurance. I think that's a smart move. But the problem with that is, obviously, they've got all these other powers as well, and I'm like, that's well out of order. They're way too powerful. So the issue is, if they decide to roll back the decision to write off the vehicle, they've already put the paperwork through, it's already written off. So even if they fix it now, it still has a mark on it, and I have to basically fight them to work through and take it off the history, more than likely. So it's crazy. Yeah, to be fair, yeah, there's that box where you have to say whether you were part of. Well, I won't have to say that I've made an insurance claim, because I didn't make one on my insurance. That's a third party claim, so it's a bit different. But they will ask questions like, were you part of an accident, and whether it was your fault or not, and stuff. And it's like, yeah, you have to say yeah. But it's like, I wasn't even part of the accident. My van was parked, so it's well out of order the way that the system works. I'm going to be honest, it's super, super out of order. It's the price I pay for essentially parking in a reasonable place to park. Go figure. But there you go. Spark saying, if you're not in the system, you're not under their control. Don't kid yourself. Do not kid yourself. Their systems are in place. Just make sure, even if you're not in the system, that they can still control you. Everyone's saying, sorry to hear, perhaps you do need a heat pack or hot water. Oh, you're talking to Gracie, I'm guessing. How is Henry and Ethan, asking Dan? Yeah, they're all right there with their mum. I'll be having Ethan back soon enough. Yeah, you're right. Well, the thing is, the government doesn't like van life people any more than they liked travellers and stuff, because essentially, we're within the system, and but we're not sort of. We're not doing it the way that they've designed the system to, so we've found a way to not get bled by the system, because they tax your money about like at least a dozen or so times between the point where you've earned it and the point where you've basically spent it all. And even if you're trying to save it or give it to somebody, they're taxing it, they're taxing it and taxing it and taxing it. And there's like, you know, so they tax it as you make it, they tax it as you spend it, they tax it with like sometimes twice when you spend it. So there'd be VAT and say duty on your fuel and stuff like that. But they're gonna like tax it in any way, shape, form they can. And the thing with van life is you've kind of figured out a way to kind of get around some of it in terms of just the wholesale. You don't need to earn as much, and you don't need to spend as much. And they're like, no, we don't want that. We want everyone spending and earning as much as possible. And they don't even care if the individual spends and earns that much. They just need more people doing it with, like, you know, less money for all they care, which is why they keep changing the things they do by keeping like all of the thresholds for tax and stuff the same, while all the cost of living goes up. It's just they don't really care. They just want to keep the money flowing tax wise. That's all they care about. Sorry, Gracie, I didn't think you were in A&E now. I thought you said that you were there and then you were back. But then I just read something saying you've been in there for 6 hours. So now I'm confused. Yeah, I'll be honest. Yeah, you're saying, Dan, about you can't stand them the way they treat people. I like it's a bit nasty, to be fair, some of the tactics that the insurance company have used, and some of the people I've dealt with. I'm like, wow, like the system's rigged against you, but also the people have basically been given scripts in order to try to basically emotionally manipulate and take advantage of people in a weak state and all sorts of. It's really underhanded stuff. I'm like, wow. So, and they like act like they're your friends when they're clearly not. It's just so nasty. You was the same, but still got hit for 5. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Until you don't have to say it anymore, you're taking that financial hit constantly. Yeah. Teddy with Gracie, you know, this isn't a doctor's surgery, right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh dear. I think it's one of these things. It's trying to find a balance in the chat. There's definitely been a few of the family who are obviously wanting to vent about their troubles today with pain and whatnot, and I don't mind listening a bit, but it's kind of what we're here for. But at the same time, Gracie, like it's been a while now. We all get the idea. It's it's time to let that go and move on. Erin saying you've been amazing in dealing with, or you have been, Molly. Such incredible patience. Well, I mean, I don't have a lot of choice, Minister Emily. I have lost it a little bit. I've lost my cool a bit with the insurance company here and there, but I know the game. I can't be on there swearing at anybody and blaming somebody in that. So yeah, I'm gonna be a very different person on the phone next time they talk to me though. I'm going to be pretty cool and calm and just be an absolute rock solid of just, no, I don't agree with what you're saying. I want this instead. And I know that you have to give me whatever I say. Because here's the thing, Dan, I play people's, like, to me, it's their game, but they've got rules that they have to play by. I've been researching all the rules that they have to play by. So now the next time I talk to the insurance company, I've got all the ammunition to basically play it right to get them to do what I want them to do, and that's how you do it. And we have someone called Pretty Lane Gamer. Okay, can you give me a shout out? My name is Gabe. Gabe. Oh, I like that. That's a good one. Gabe Owners. Game owners. That's good. That's solid. That's got me laughing. Oh, I like that. Well done. Well done. Oh, dearie me. That's solid. We've got Rooney in saying, hiya. Hiya, Rooney. Your picture looks like me right now. We could be twins. Oh, dear. He's saying, I wish this never happened to you. Me too, Ernie. I'll be honest. I wish that guy could just drive and not basically do what he did, but it happens. Oh dear. So other than the really incredible heat that you're dealing with, Ernie, I hope you're having a nice time where you are. What have you been up to today? Anything good? And yeah, South Africa. I don't know much about South Africa, but obviously, you know, I'd love to hear something about it. So, I'd love to hear about what your day entails and what sort of what life is like over there. So, if you're willing to give me a little bit of a insight as to what your life looks like, I'd love to hear a little bit. Really saying, what flavour farts we putting out today? Mine have been easily cheesy ones because I've been eating too many giant Wotsits, for sure, for sure. Just thank heavens I haven't been eating prawn cocktail, eh? Wayne saying, hi Molly, how are you, brother? I'm good, brother. How are you, Wayne? Hope you're well. Chris saying, no woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. All men, happy days. All men, happy days. Is that what you're saying? You sound like Rohan then. We got Teesside in saying, what football club do you support? I don't really support a club, to be fair. All I know is Liverpool is like the worst team in the world. You can support any other team, but just don't support them. You're pretty good. Ask Dan if Dan's still in. He'll know who the best football team is. He'll have an idea. Chris saying that's a Bob Marley. I know it is. No woman, no cry. Yeah, I know it is. I'm just having fun with it. Right, Wayne saying, how are you enjoying your hotel room? I bet your days are so boring at the minute. They're not. I've been out working, my man. I've been out working today. So enjoying the sunshine, enjoying a bit of physical activity, chit-chatting to Sienna a little bit, and yeah, just getting on really. Yeah, it's been all right. It's been good times. It's I can't spend the whole day thinking about insurance companies and all their nonsense. I just, I take a little bit of time to do a little bit of research and then I just move forward. So I did a little bit of research this morning, just figured out a few bits and pieces, and then got out for work, and then just got on and just focused on that. Yeah. We've got T-Sep, I don't know, saying, hey girly boy, well, you've lost me already. I'm pretty sure I've missed some chat, and I do apologise if I've missed your chat. I will try to slide back up, but it's moving pretty fast again. Sinner saying, with the harm in here, Chris, that's an impossibility. Oh yeah, about the no woman. Yeah, there's a proper harm going on, isn't there? Imagine if healthcare was insurance-based, Sparker. No, Sparker. No. I will say that's the one thing we do a bit better than the Americans, although, to be honest, I can't say our system's working much better. I mean, when you can't even get a doctor's appointment without basically, pulling all of your entire, hair out and, moaning about it for about 6 weeks, and then finally you're the lucky person who, when you phone it, 1 minute to 8 in the morning and get to be the first person that actually makes that phone ring and get an appointment, and that everyone else is the sucker who didn't get it. I mean, that's not a great system, is it? Emily's saying you've been amazing. I've seen that bit already, so I must be up to where I was. So let's have a look. Oh no, I'm well up. Whoa! I've gone way too far up. So let's have a look. Emily's saying I'm on the east. Oh, that's it. I've got an answer from Emily. Cool. So I am on the East Coast. I have been painting and crafting and taking care of my mum. She is totally bedridden, so I've been caregiving her for the past 3 years. So from now, obviously, loads of countries in Africa, and I know a little bit about some of them, but South Africa's one I know very little about. But from what I understand there's a few countries where they have there's a lot of villages, so to speak, where, and then you'll have the cities, where it's more modernized and stuff. But in the villages, it seems to be more sort of, not that modern and that sort of thing. And you're saying that you're taking care of your mum and stuff. Is that like in a village, or is it like a city? And is it still like that, like what I've just described? Is it a bit like that? I don't know. So yeah, I'm just curious. I love seeing other culture and seeing what things are like, and yeah, just having chatted to people online and whatnot. I've got to see a few other places. I was always flabbergasted about Venezuela and how everything works over there, and how bad things get over there, like just the lack of like jobs and money. And it's like an undercurrent of like, they basically, everyone's working in, US dollars, because their whatever the money they use, I can't remember what it's called again, is basically like you'll go to do a job, and essentially just travel to get to your job will cost you more than you'll get for the work itself, sort of thing. And so like it's just crazy over there. And people are just, they can't even get running water and stuff like that. It's mental. But yet then they can still have a mobile phone, because they've spread out mobile phone towers everywhere. I'm just like, how has the country got it so backwards that people are struggling to get food but they can get internet access? I'm like, a little bit weird there. Chris saying, Molly, I'm from near Northampton. I'm in Oxford for uni. Oh, cool. You're not far away at all then. Yeah, I've been to Northampton before. I've done a stealth camp there with my my friend Paul, rest his soul. He's that was good fun. And I don't know if I've been in Oxford, but I've driven around past it a few times, because I've definitely been over that way. Like I was just south of Oxford as I was going past, from sort of like walking from London to Gloucester and stuff. So yeah, good countryside over there. And like when I go to like Ivanhoe, I know that that's not that far. I had considered doing a little trip into Oxford from Ivanhoe in the van. So yeah, nice countryside. And you're saying you're in Oxford Uni, but Oxford Brookes, obviously, because I'm a dumb lame-o. I mean, I'll be honest, you don't sound like a dumb lame-o, and if you're in Oxford for uni, you can't be that lame. But also, I have no idea what Oxford Brookes means. That's gone over my head. Spark saying, there's a documentary, Sicko, about private healthcare. It's an interesting watch. Is that the one where they end up with the human centipede at the end? I kid Sparker. Right, Emily's saying, I am in Durban, which is a coastal town. Oh, cool. So like, are you like by the ocean then? Do you get to have a swim when it's that hot? Which would be really cool. And you said, did you say you were in the East Coast? Yeah. So it is. Wow, that's a. So I know. I guess in South Africa, there's plenty of English speakers, and that. I suppose there's quite a lot of countries in Africa that do. But is English your first language, Ebony, or have you got a different first language? Chris saying, I'll watch that at the weekend, Sparker. Not Oxford Uni. I'm at Oxford Brookes Uni. I just so it's a different uni. Okay. I didn't know there was two over there, to be honest. You've just taught me something, Chris. Thank you very much. This week they unveiled a huge 9-foot statue of Nelson Mandela on the beachfront. I mean, is that a good thing? I mean, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is that like a nice thing for them to be spending the money on, or is there better things? Like if they spent money on statues over here, I'm always like, why are they spending money on that? There's better things to spend the money on. Of course, though, it probably wouldn't have cost as much as like some of the lame roundabouts they do, when they spend millions on like redoing roundabouts that make no difference at all, or different kind of road structure. And you think, why have they bothered? This has cost a huge amount. And you know really what's happened. Someone's got a backhander somewhere, and bribes galore, and suddenly just they're wasting money on something. Somebody saying, when's it going to end? Whenever you swipe up, I guess. Oh, that's a good question, though. Sienna was asking, what is Chris studying? Yeah, that'd be a good thing to know. Chris says, to be fair, I hate where I'm from. Loads of flag shaggers. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what that term actually means, but it doesn't sound good. What is Sienna going about in the mod? I wouldn't grumble on forking out cash for a mighty erection of Molly. Oh my God, I've just worked out what you're talking about, Sienna. I don't think I'd want a 9-foot statue of me. Ah, dear me. We have Frizzy in saying greetings from Sweden. Greetings, Frizzy. That's a cool handle name. I like that. Frizzy. Nice. So I'm guessing, so Sweden, that you're, we have, Oh, is Emmy from? No, Emmy's from Norway. So, but that's another obviously neighbours basically. That's cool though. What's it like in Sweden right now? I would be interested to know. And like Sweden, is that? And I'm just thinking because obviously it's a big place, and I'm just trying to think. My geography is sometimes decent, and other times it's not. But part of that's quite north in the Arctic Circle, if I'm not wrong, and then some of it isn't that far north. So I'm curious. Like you, are you like really far north? Are you further south? Emily's saying no, it's terrible. Two statues cost 22 million. That is a stupid amount of money to spend on something like that. I mean, yeah, the guy was, important and whatnot, but there's better things to spend that money on, isn't there? I mean, even here, I'd want it to spend on something else. But I imagine in South Africa, there's a lot of things they could be spending on that would be better. Historia saying about to hit some of this something or other and go wild. Love the streams, man. Good day to you all. Well, good day and enjoy your meth. Chris saying architecture and built environment. What? Built environment? That's an interesting phrase. Frizzy saying, oh, would you like to hear a fun sibling rivalry joke? We Swedes love to joke about Norwegians. Go for it. Go on. Tell me some jokes. I love it. I have so many good Norwegian jokes. Go for it. Go for it. We love jokes in here. Yeah, it does sound fascinating, doesn't it, Sienna? I mean, obviously, architecture, solid thing to learn, but built environment. I need an example of a built environment. Like what we talking there? Because my mind obviously goes to a few different ideas, but I don't know if there's some specificity to that I'm not sure of. Frizzy saying, what answer do you get if you do 1 + 1 on a Norwegian calculator? Please wait. I don't know that I get that one. I think that's a bit of a... Is that some different Swedish humour? I don't know. Or am I just being dense? What answer do you get if you do 1 + 1 on a Norwegian calculator? Please wait. Is that just saying they're really bad at maths? I don't know. But I concur with Spark. I love the Scandinavian countries as a whole. You guys are really cool with like the right to roam stuff and all that. Like, you guys are laid back, and obviously, I think quite a lot of the countries up there are rated as some of the happiest in the world, which makes some sense to me. Although it kind of goes counterintuitive to the fact that we need like sunshine and vitamin D and stuff to be happy. So, and you guys obviously, like if you're in the different parts of it, you're getting that time where you spend half a year not seeing much sun at all. So, excuse me. Yeah. Yes, that's an original is much slower and not that smart. Fair play. I'd say the English calculator might be about the same as the Norwegian one. Oh dear. I like that though. I like that. Oh dear. So Sienna's saying, what are plans and aims post-uni, Chris? Oh, don't ask someone at uni what their plans are afterwards. They never know. They never know, Sienna. Come on in, tell us another joke, Frizzy. Okay, how about this? Oh yeah, here we go. Got another one coming. Why do Norwegians crawl on the floor in the supermarket? They look for low prices. No. That's oh, they're a bit bargain hunters, eh? The guy who used to run the local shop where I worked for quite a while when I was younger, his catchphrase where he'd do two things, right? Anytime something clever happened, like he'd go, "Oh, old Indian trick," and just lay claim to anything that was half intelligent. Oh, old Indian trick, like, and I was like, okay. And then anytime he didn't like basically like it could be like a couple of lads come in or whatever, or he was having an argument with a group of people, whatever, and like whenever he's finished doing it, he goes, oh, big bunch of Barcelonian bargain hunters. And I love the alliteration of it, big bunch of Barcelonian bargain hunters. But that's a way of calling them all a B word basically, and it used to crack me up. I don't know why. And yeah, so basically what you're saying is the Norwegians are a big bunch of Barcelonian bargain hunters. Chris saying, might move somewhere, anywhere but Northampton. Probably Brighton or Bath. Brighton's a lovely place. I went to uni at Sussex University, and I lived in Brighton for quite a while. Worked at the Waitrose down there. Yeah, fantastic place, Brighton. Fantastic place. I have very fond memories of down there, and I used to like to visit. I don't visit as much anymore, but I used to love visiting Brighton. Yeah, I haven't been for ages. Might be worth going at some point. I don't know. Spark is saying, I have a really good friend who is Norwegian, and he's FPS beast. What's FPS? You lost me. Chris saying you feel very mean typing the username. Yeah, just call her Sienna. That's what I call her. Well, among other things, but we'll keep it PG here. Ah, dear. Frizzy's saying, why wasn't Jesus born in Norway? They couldn't find 3 wise men. Oh, jeez, that's rude. I like it though. There's a good sense of humour, Frizzy. That's fair play. That's fair play. Dear me. So, yeah, did you ever answer me, Frizzy? Are you like North Sweden or like more to the south? I think, yeah, because you have like, it's a bit like Norway in that you have quite a north to south kind of like distance, like length of your country. So, yeah, I am very curious about that. I always wonder what it must be like to live like inside the Arctic Circle. You see people on like YouTube, sorry, excuse me, it's getting late. You see people on YouTube sort of doing videos about life like that, and I do wonder sometimes, like, is it as good as they make it out like? But it would be a bit of a dream though to have like, you know, a nice log cabin somewhere in Sweden or Norway or somewhere like that. I'd go with Finland as well, except I've watched a couple of YouTube channels that are based out of Finland, and I think those guys must all be nuts, like crazy, like dangerous kind of nuts. You got what's it like the hydraulic press channel, and then Beyond the Press channel. Like the same people, basically the same 2 channels. They're insane. They're insane. What are they doing? Like, I mean, we do have Colin Furze with his safety tie, which is almost as bad. But my lord, those guys are just crazy. Blowing just about anything up, and like the ice things they do on like ice lakes, just ridiculous. South Sweden, I have 5 degrees finally, spring, but up in north it's still like -10. Oh, so you're not quite as cold as up there. That's fair enough, but it's beautiful up there in the north. Yeah. Do you? I take it you travel up there sometimes then. Like where? All right. So here's a good question. Like, because like I'd love to go to like say Sweden or Norway, anything like that for a holiday. Another one I'd really like to do is Iceland. But where would you go for holiday then? As a Swedish person, well, I'm stumbling over my words. As a Swedish person, where would your favourite place to go for holiday be? Like if you could go anywhere. I think that's a good question. In fact, I'm going to throw it out to the rest of the people watching as well. Where would your favourite place to go for holiday be? Like if you could go anywhere, like no, like you don't get like unlimited funds, but you get to go there for free, and you get to, you know, have a like, but then you have to figure out like, you know, cost of what you're spending on doing anything, but you get to travel there for free and have say a free hotel, but everything else you have to pay for. So you have to still consider the fact that, you know, you go to somewhere like Vietnam, you're going to have some cheap spending and you can do whatever you want with very little money. But then if you go to Dubai or somewhere like that, you're going to end up spending a lot of money. So yeah, so it's not a no budget thing, but you've yeah, where would you go? Spark of Alaska. Solid choice. Solid choice. Oh, we got, is that Mark? For a second there, I thought that was Mark. But then but they got modded, and it was like, it's not quite, I don't know. Frizzy's saying, I would go to a place that I'm not going to be able to pronounce. Up in northern part of Sweden, they have ice hotels up there made in all ice. Yeah, I've seen those. They look incredible. I mean, I think if I was going to go to an ice hotel, though, I couldn't do it on my own. I'd have to go with a partner so that I had someone to cuddle up with and stay warm with, because I reckon those beds look pretty cold unless you've got some body heat to share. I'd probably be all right with Ethan. Me and him could all snuggle up, but I think I think like a female partner would probably be better, to be fair. But yeah, it's but they do look cool. I mean, that's incredible that they build things like that. Yeah. But you wouldn't go to another country then? You'd rather stay in Sweden. That's fair play. That's fair play. Respect to that. I like staying here in the UK and just travelling around for the most part. But if I did travel, yeah, Scandinavian countries are on the list of places I'd like to get cracking on. Chris in Reykjavik in Iceland, or I'm going to try to pronounce that, Valparaiso. Valparaiso, Chile, basically. Oh yeah, Chile. Yeah, I don't think Chile's on my list of like very high. I think I'd visit anywhere, but I think Chile's somewhere probably in the middle of the list. Rome, saying Ernie. Fair enough. Fair enough. Why Rome though? And Chris, you got to tell me why. Why Iceland and Chile? Like, Frizzy basically came up with a really good one, like for a good reason about the ice hotels. And we all know why Sparker wants to go to Alaska, because his holiday is going to turn into an indefinite stay, where he's just going to be off in the wilderness and no one's going to find him, and he can be off grid. We know what he's about. Frizzy's saying, did you know Sweden's actually so big in area that it would, for me living in south part of Sweden, take the same amount of time to fly to Rome in Italy as it would up to North Sweden? Really? I mean, I'll take your word for it, Frizzy. That sounds crazy, but there's always some weird stuff like that going on. In terms of the maps that we look at, and then they don't really translate to the globe as a whole, and there's some really weird things. Like, we always think of America as being really far to the west of here, but in actual fact, that's just like North America, and South America actually comes back around. And I don't think it's underneath us at any point, but it gets blimming close. And I'm like, wow, it's not, because on the maps it looks like America goes down, but it's actually like a real crooked slant. I'm just like, wow, that's crazy when you look at it on a globe and you think, oh, actually, when you track these lines, it's mental. It's mental what's actually on the same lines as us. Yes, Barker, I'm reading your mind because you forgot to wear your foil hat. And as Tim will tell you, if you're not wearing it, I know exactly what you're thinking. Chris saying, Iceland for the Northern Lights. Yes, but you could probably get them. Can't you get them from like Sweden and that as well, though? So, but I like Iceland because they've got that ring road around the coast, and they've got what I like about Iceland is that whole everything is from the thermal. So they use thermal heating and stuff like that. So this idea that they even pump hot water to people's houses, because hot water is just basically cheap there, because they're just pushing water in the ground and it comes back up hot, and they use that for generating their power. So electricity is basically it's super cheap there, and they pump hot water to people's houses, so the houses don't even have to heat it up themselves. And they have these natural hot springs, and I just love that idea of these natural hot springs. Just about that you can just have a hot swimming and stuff, and just really cool. And then just plenty of coastline to have swims in and that as well. Yeah, fantastic place. And Chile for the colourful streets. Fair enough. I didn't know that they had colourful streets, but yeah. South American countries as a whole, very colourful places, aren't they? Definitely a few places down there that I'd like to visit if I could. Sian said, my brother and his wife have travelled to Iceland 4 times to see Northern Lights, but each time they've been unsuccessful. Yeah, I think you've got to go for a long period. I'd go in my van and I'd be able to just stay up there for really long periods, just up in the north. It'd be really cool. And Sparker's like, oh my God, I forgot. I know you forgot. And I know because you didn't have your foil hat on, and if you had, then I wouldn't have known. It's like I'm Charles Xavier and you're Magneto. If you ain't got it on, if you ain't got that cap on, I've got full control. Yes. Chris saying yes, in amazing landscape and volcanoes. Yeah. Frizzy saying, yeah, you can even see the Northern Lights in Stockholm, which is still South Sweden. Yeah, that's fair enough. Man, Sweden would be awesome. If I come to Sweden, you're going to give me, are you going to be my tour guide, Frizzy? You're going to give me the tour of all the best places. That's the thing, isn't it? You see, it's, when you go to anywhere, you've got to have a local guide. That's the trick to it. I know that Sienna will give me a tour of Scotland if I go up there for sure. But I think Sarah would probably be my tour guide for Wales if I'm thinking right. What do you think, Sienna? I think Sarah would give me the tour. And yeah, I need like one person for every country. That's what I mean. Oh dear. Yeah, I think Vic would be my tour guide for Northern Ireland. Yeah, I do think getting over Northern Ireland would be quite cool actually, just because Vic's like into the telescopes and stuff. He's got his own setup, and yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Like taking some shots of the heavens basically with Vic. That would be pretty cool stuff to do. He shares a lot of his photos on his channel, but he sends me some through WhatsApp as well, and it's always epic stuff. I'm like, wow, man, it's just crazy, like all the nebulas and the galaxies and that he's taking shots of. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm aware that what's happening is they're basically, you take a few photos and you layer them up, and then you get like a much clearer image. But yeah, it's fantastic. It's phenomenal stuff. The chat has gone quiet all of a sudden, which makes me feel like it's done that thing with YouTube again, where it's blocking some people, or it's just sort of the internet has got rubbish enough that we've got a bit of a delay. There we go. Sienna saying should definitely guide you to the best sites. Yeah, I think I agree with you there. Got another Norwegian joke incoming. Go for it. In the meantime, I hope you remember to subscribe, Frizzy. It's been lovely chatting to you, so I hope you come again another time. What do they call smart people in Norway? Tourists. Oh, that's brutal. Oh, my lords. I mean, that's similar to some sexist jokes that I've had, to be fair. Sparker saying you should list the channels of your subs. I didn't realise Vic had a channel. Well, he doesn't like do videos or anything, but he does just post like his pictures and stuff up. So yeah, I mean, I should tell him to sometimes post in my community tab. I don't know if everyone gets notifications for that because YouTube is a bit rubbish with the community tabs, but yeah. Erin is saying I had a 6-week visit of a few European countries. I never got to really see too much of it. Loved the fountains. Food, people have not visited England, so can't really say. Did a 6-week visit of a few European countries. Well, yeah, I mean, there's plenty of them out there. Yeah, it's. I've been to Berlin. I've been to Belgium, and I've been to Ireland as well, which is technically a European country, but it's not mainland. It's not part the main continental part. I've done France a couple of times with school, but yeah, haven't seen much of Europe, to be fair. Would like to do more eventually. And we've got the fans club saying that chat is full of woke liberal shit. You're getting modded for the use of bad words. Remove that. There we go. I'd like to visit some of the African countries as well. There's some beautiful places in Africa. There's like Victoria Falls and stuff like that. I'm not sure where that is, which country it's in, because that is I imagine it's somewhere around Lake Victoria, which has got like several countries that kind of border that. So I don't know which ones it would be, but Yeah, South Africa, I imagine, would be a pretty cool place to visit as well. Would you tour guide for me there, Ernie? We got at Jive at 5. Jive at 5. That's a cool handle. Jive at 5. I like that. Are you saying you're in South Africa? Or are you saying that the Victoria Falls is in South Africa? Oh. Had the main door downstairs go bang. It's a loud door. Chris saying, I would love to visit Zimbabwe. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of Africa looks really cool, to be fair. How do you sink a Norwegian submarine? You swim down and knock. Oh, I like that one. That's really good. I like that one, pretty. That's really good. The Falls is in South Africa. Thank you very much, Jive at 5. Gambia is nice. Is it? Where are you from, Jive at 5? Are you in Africa, or are you somewhere else and you just know a lot about it? Ernie's giving me the sure thing. Oh, that'd be lovely, Ernie. That would be awesome. Offensive Thoughts says from South Africa. I don't know. Are you saying you're from South Africa, or are you just very behind saying that the Falls is from South Africa as well? Drive at 5 is from the Netherlands. Cool. That's really close by. That's like literally just across the channel from us, isn't it? Really. Rotterdam City. Cool. I mean, that's a place to visit as well. I mean, I'll be honest. Am I thinking right? The Netherlands is pretty flat, but you guys have got some pretty cool sites nonetheless. Offensive Thought saying I'm from South Africa. Well, welcome in. You'll be the second person in the stream tonight who is from South Africa. So we're building up our numbers there. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate you. Someone saying Liverpool. Are you saying you're from there? If so, welcome. I am from Bedfordshire, so just a little bit north of London. Chris is saying been to Ireland twice and Costa Rica once when I was younger. Cool. Yeah, I did Ireland. I went there with my ex. Like, it was basically, that's why I proposed in Ireland. Actually, we went there for our like 1 year anniversary of being together, like as boyfriend girlfriend, and I proposed, and that's, yeah. So I have lots of photos, and I have some good memories from there. Those were better times, admittedly. You can see England from the shore. Really, that's cool. Wow, on a clear day, I'm guessing. Fizzy saying, all us Swedes, Danes, and Norwegians have funny jokes about each other. A Swede, Dane, and Norwegian drunk together making jokes, you would die of laughter. I bet I would. Especially if it's all dads as well. Whoa, a bunch of like basically Scandinavian dads all together having some good humour. I bet it'd knock everyone's socks off. Deuce saying, why did you divorce? Well, that's a complicated answer. I'm going to be honest, it's complicated. The short one is, it wasn't anything like crazy. It wasn't like there was cheating or anything like that. It was just, marriages go down a downward spiral. Sometimes people just drift apart, and that's what happens. It sometimes goes that way. We've got John in saying, can you wish my friend Peter his best wishes? He overpaid a guy to clean his gutters, and he is feeling bad about paying that much. What on earth? That's a weird thing to come and say. So how much did he pay to have his gutters cleaned? And when you say cleaned, so here's the thing. So I do gutter clearing and cleaning. And some people go, oh, can you clean my gutters? And I have to be very specific. Do you mean clearing out the debris, or do you want the actual underside clean? Because the two things are very different, and we charge a very different amount for them two things. Because cleaning the underside of the gutters, and then there's the question, if they say that part, you got to go, well, do you want the fascia? Do you want the soffits? Like, what would you want? Because they're like, oh, no, I just want the gutters cleaned. And like it could be a fairly simple job from the way they say it. But then actually what they mean is, no, I want it cleared out. I want the bottoms cleaned. I want the fascia cleaned. I want the soffit cleaned and all the vents cleaned. And it's like, well, that's a big job all of a sudden. But they, they want as cheap as price as possible. They come out with all sorts of like, oh, I don't really want much. I just want this. So Sparker said something. Similar to Scottish, English, Irish jokes, I guess I would imagine, says Sparky. Yeah, I'm thinking the same sort of thing. Do saying, you have some peace now then. Yeah, I guess so, Deuce. Yeah, it takes a while to work your way there. You have to have a little bit of time to kind of work past it all. But yeah, it would be a who roast the best party. Yeah, it would be that, Prizzy. It would be that, like a proper roast, basically. Chris saying, I think that's too personal. Are you guys referring to his question about the why did you divorce? I don't mind talking about it, but it's one of those things. It's just a very complicated thing to talk about. So I don't know that anyone here wants to listen to me like drone on about how my marriage went down the drain. That's not a very pretty topic, to be honest. But there you go. And then Senna saying, Molly, did you overcharge again? I always do it too cheap, to be fair. My dad, on the other hand, will charge an absolute fortune. John saying, he said too much. Hillbilly John saying, did you watch the darts? I did not, no. John saying, he had his gutters cleaned, but they had a massive crack in it, so he had to have them replaced. Yeah, well, that's the sort of thing I would notice, to be fair. But usually before I do a job, like if someone called me out for a gutter clear, like I'll give them a price for it. But if they call me out because their gutters are like basically leaking or pouring water over, I usually ask them like where it is, and I go and do a little bit of a diagnostic first, and then I'm very good. That's actually what I do. Like, so a specialty of mine is roofline diagnostics. Tell you what's wrong, what actually needs to be done, which is not as simple sometimes as people think. There's a lot of people out there, like rookies, who essentially have no idea what they're doing. Like things like pitch of roof and stuff, and how it affects how gutters work and what type of gutters you should have, and then where your downpipes are located and how many downpipes you got and distances between, stuff like that. It's there's a whole lot of complicated stuff, but yeah, it happens all the time. So it actually reminds me of a story, actually, just to have a bit of a chin wag. So back when I used to run the window cleaning business, and I was doing hire and fire and all that, because it was my business. And I had a cleaner who was working for me, right? And this guy was a bit of it was a piece of work, basically. And this was the final straw. I essentially sacked him over this, to be fair. But what basically happened was, I get a phone call at like some stupid hour early on a Sunday morning from a lady who was not happy because essentially, like she'd left a couple of messages, and I had to get back to her because she was pretty irate about it. She had paid this cleaner to do her to replace the gutter at the back of her house because she'd been having problems with it, and the problem was still happening, and she wanted to know what was going to be done about it. So I sort of called her and said, I'm sorry, I don't know anything about this job. Are you sure we're the people who carry this out? And she told me what happened. And essentially, like, the guy who was being paid, like he was working for me to do window cleaning. He knew that that I would do gutter work myself, and that's the thing that I did. And he'd been asked by the customer if the work could get done, and rather than passing it on to me like he should have done, he decided he was going to do it himself and pocket a bit of extra cash. And essentially he overpriced this job by a huge amount, like charged her 3 times the amount he should have been. And he didn't even diagnose it properly. And all he did is he went down to Wicks, got a bit of new gutter and just stuck it in place. And he didn't replace any of the brackets, didn't replace any of the joints, and he didn't even fix the problem that there was. And it was actually a really simple problem. It was just a problem with a joint. So I went over to have a look at it and see what happened. And when I found out all this, that he'd basically just like replaced a piece of guttering but hadn't actually fixed the issue. I fixed it for her there and then, sold it for her, apologised for the inconvenience, and then proceeded to sack him the next day on the basis that he was ripping off my customers and doing work that he wasn't he wasn't supposed to be doing. He was breaching contract, and it was like, yeah, jog on, mate. But yeah, it was a bit disgraceful because he took a lot of money off her, and it wasn't my place to basically force him to give the money back. But I did say to him, "You're disgusting, mate. You've overcharged her for something. I saw what you did, and you bought a length of gutter from Wicks, and you took it out and stuck it back in. That wasn't going to fix anything, and it was essentially you doing a job that you didn't know how to do, and you've charged this customer a huge amount of money. Now she seems happy enough because I fixed it, but I've had to go out on a Sunday and fix something for a customer who I didn't get paid anything for, so I've had to use fuel, time and effort to go and deal with this for a loyal customer. She'd been with us for years as a window cleaning customer, and I was well livid. But yes, people pulled stuff like that like a lot when they were doing stupid stuff. Do you like I think you mean footy rather than footy, says Jiverts5. I like to play it, not much of a watcher though. You Indian, says Deva7. No, I'm not Indian. I'm probably behind the chat now. I'm going to be real quick with this. Let's have a little look. Jiverts5 saying, what do you think about the Pogues? Do you like that music? By the Pogues, you mean like the people who did that Christmas song? I can't remember what the name of it is now. I know they're the Pogues. You scumbag, you maggot, you cheap lousy faggot. Happy Christmas to us, and thank God it's our last. My favourite Christmas song. I'm trying to think what it's actually called. I don't remember what the song's called though. Just remember what the groups are called. I don't know why. But yeah, I like that song. I don't know any of their other music. I think I listened to some sometime and didn't really like it. John said he also bought a tent box XL in his car. Might be low. What on earth? This is a lot of detail, John. And I won't be giving safety advice out on here, man. Chris saying going home for the weekend. It's been 2 weeks since I was back last back. All right. So when you say going home, I guess seeing the parents and stuff. Are you looking forward to that, or is that like a bit of like a you don't really want to be doing it? Oh yeah, we have a J Epstein in something or other, whatever. Right, we've got the stupid translate thing on. I need to turn the auto translate off. Oh, Gordon Bennett. How do I turn the auto translate off? There we go. There we go. What did it actually translate? Whatever. So we've got somebody chat. Oh, that's just Sparker. And someone saying about something to do with Islam, whatever. Okay. All the evil rolled into one account. Like, yeah. Frizzy saying, I was going to make a joke about the Titanic, but I didn't want to stoop that low. Ooh. Yeah, if you went that low, you might implode. Or is that too soon? Sienna saying, Chris Moley is forever being likened to the image of Jeffrey. Yeah, I think it's just the grey hair. We usually get one in. Oh my God, whatever. Getting someone to chat. Hillbilly John saying, do you cut grass? No, I don't actually, because I don't have a lawn. I used to cut my own lawn, but don't have one anymore. Well, it wasn't mine, it was we rented, but yeah, I still don't. Crying out loud. The Epstein stuff's back in. Right, you can be hidden because you're boring me with your spammy stuff. And we've got, is that a Mandy? It looks like M and I, but Mandy says hi from Sydney, Australia. Hi back, lovely to have an Australian in. How is things down under? I hope you're well. Is yeah now hidden. That's good. Right. Oh, Fairy Tale of New York. That was it, Sparky. Yeah, well done. Thank you very much. Can you drive a van? Asked Hillbilly John. Yes, I live in a van. So if I couldn't drive it, that'd be a bit useless, wouldn't it? This is not where I normally live. This is my temporary residence while dealing with insurance companies. But yeah, I actually live in a van, so I can definitely drive them. Some mothers do have them. Did you ever watch that on telly? Yeah, I did. I recall it. Can't remember anything about it, but I remember seeing that. That title does ring a bell. Mandy saying it's been extremely hot and summer finished last month, but still getting hot days. Well, it's that global warming, isn't it? It'll be cooking us all before we know it. Whereabouts? So you said? Did you say Sydney? Did you say Sydney, Australia? Let me just check. Yeah. So that's Sydney's east coast, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's a place that I would love to visit, Australia. Wow, we were talking about this earlier, Mandy, before you came in the stream. Places where we'd like to go and visit for holidays and stuff. And yeah, my friend Noah lived in Australia for 6 years, and my ex-wife, when I first met her, she spent a few months in I can't remember how long it was actually. It was it a month or maybe it was longer? I'm not sure. It might have been 2 months. I can't remember. It was so long ago. But yeah, she went off like literally. We just started going out, and she had it all booked up beforehand and that. And I basically had to wish her well and see her off. And then when she came back, then we sort of picked up where we left off from. But yeah, she enjoyed that. She travelled a lot. Noah didn't travel as much as she did, and he was there for 6 years. But she went for a holiday. He went to like stay there and actually work and stuff as well. So, oh, the Frank and Spencer. Oh, Betty, making me laugh. What did you enjoy watching growing up? Asked Drive at 5. Like what sort of age are we talking about here? You mean like as a kid? Because as a kid, I just watched lots of cartoons. To be fair, like I'd end up watching things like Snooker and stuff with parents, and my mum watched lots of soap operas like EastEnders and stuff. I particularly enjoyed watching the movies at night with my dad, because I mean, you'd have to kind of like nudge him sometimes because he'd snore to death, because he'd watch the credit, he'd watch the start of the movie. Within 5 minutes of the movie starting, he was resting his eyes and clearing his throat, and then you'd kind of wake him up for the credits. But yeah, we watched like all like the spaghetti westerns and stuff. Yeah, and yeah, I used to love watching movies and whatnot. All the old classics, really. Frizzy saying, what did the priest say about the cat in the church? Catholic. Oh dear, Frizzy, you're full of jokes. I love the people who come in with jokes, but you've got some really good ones, Frizzy. Ah dear. Chris saying, mad that some people don't believe in global warming. Well, some people think the world is flat though as well. So I mean, the worst of the worst. Some people think I need to dye my hair. I mean, just think how daft you've got to be to think that. Jeez, why would you dye silver goodness like this? Oh dear, it's jokes, just full of jokes. It really is. In my 20s, okay. In my 20s says Drive at 5. So my 20s would have been like, I mean, I was at uni at the early part of that. And to be fair, during that time, I didn't watch a lot of TV. But then after coming back, what was I watching then? Scrubs. There you go. Scrubs. That was one of my favourites from back then. Pretty sure that was in my 20s, yeah. I keep thinking about watching that with the boys. Yeah. And movies. I've always been into a lot of movies, to be fair. I love watching movies. Or films, as we might call them here. But I've Americanized and call them movies now. Chris saying, do you follow Jimmy the Giant, Molly? No, who's Jimmy the Giant? What's that about? Is that a YouTuber, is it? Elijah Mann is in. Hey mate, hi Elijah, good to see you. It's been a minute, my man. How are you doing? Glad to have you back in. Everybody's saying, do you like pickled onions? Not particularly. I like pickled onion in Monster Munch. Let me say it again. I like pickled onion Monster Munch, but I don't like pickled onions. Sinner with the world isn't flat. No, no. I nearly said something really rude. Then I won't say that. Oh dear. We need to get some of that spray that says to spray on flat surfaces, and then it won't be anymore. It'll be fine. Lucky Shamrock in saying, "Once upon a time in the West is the best spaghetti western." Do you know what? That is really. That is a really solid, really solid movie actually. Yeah. I mean, I can't say that that's the best spaghetti western ever, but it could be. It's a contender. I'd need to have a list of them all in front of me to jog my memory as to all of the ones there are, just to be sure. But that is a solid contender. I might give you that, to be honest. What music do I like? I like all sorts, to be fair. Today I started off, so I usually just listen on YouTube Music, and I'll just start from one track and let it do like a playlist. Today's track was started from Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls, which is a group that I used to listen to all the time when I was in my 20s. Them and like Counting Crows and things like that. These days, my favourite bands are things like Laney, Lany, and Shalou, Shallou. Very good music. But I like a bit of a mix of all sorts of things, to be fair. Can't remember the name of the artist, but Stargazing, that's like a really strong tune for me. I like that. Yeah, I'm a bit eclectic. I like a bit of house. I think deep house would be the more appropriate term, sort of electronic stuff with a bit of emotion and whatnot. But I like a bit of rock, a bit of folk, a bit of pop. You know, I'm not into hip hop. Not into reggae that much. Like, there's a few songs that I'd like listen to, but not too many. But yeah, I'm very much like it's all to do with mood, and yeah, I do kind of listen to more newer modern stuff a lot of the time. But yeah, but then I do go back and listen to my old favourites like Stereophonics, Semisonic from back that era as well. Used to love a bit of REM. I haven't listened to them for a while. I might stick a list on with some REM tomorrow when I'm working. That might do. Frizzy saying, I'm sorry if I spam jokes, just want to spread some laughter. No, I love your jokes, Frizzy, and you're not spamming at all. You've been absolutely brilliant in the chat. I've really appreciated having you in, actually, Frizzy. You're fantastic. So yeah, thank you for being here. And I will repeat myself, I hope you're subbed so you can come back another day, because I'm doing daily live streams for a whole year here, and we need more people like you, Frizzy. We really do. We want to grow this family as much as possible, have really positive people in the chat. We love as many positive people as possible. So, Shane is saying, how rude. I think I know what that is. Leave my bee stings alone. I'll leave them alone then. I won't even touch them, Sienna. I'll ignore that they're even there. Chris saying, I always dye my hair. It's blue at the moment, thinking of going pink or purple next. Cool. I'm not much for dyeing mine, to be fair. I'm too lazy, if anything else. Miles Smith, there you go, telling me who that was. What van do I have? Asked Hillbilly. It's a Peugeot Boxer. There you go. Really bog standard thing, but it's quite a big one. It's like the Luton box version. It's like they basically sell it as a chassis one, so it's just like the cab with a chassis at the back, and then the maxi loader people take them on and just build a whole like shell at the back. It's pretty cool stuff. Chris saying, I like dream pop, cigarettes after sex, Coldplay, and Arctic Monkeys sometimes. Yeah, I mean, obviously I like a bit of Coldplay. I quite like, there's a cover version of Yellow by somebody, and I quite like a lot of covers because people will take a classic song like and give it a little bit more emotion. And I like really emotive songs where like they kind of like build on it and stuff. My favourite music in the whole world is easily by a long way by the most special artist there ever was in the world. And I think Sienna knows who I'm talking about here. There's one artist out there who is just incredible, and there will never be anybody who can write music like this guy. and he's called Ethan, right? And he's my son, and he's an absolute amazing artist. He writes the best songs that you've ever heard, honestly. And he's only 11. He's writing incredible songs, and by the time he gets to 20, he's going to be writing tracks like you wouldn't believe. He's going to take this world by storm. Honestly, this kid is just full of talent. So yeah, he makes me proud every day. He makes me proud. But when he writes a new song, I'm like, oh my god. And I've got one recorded that he recorded, and he sent it to me the other day. I was like, that's amazing. That's amazing. He is, isn't he, Sienna? Musical genius. That's the only way to say it. But he's saying, let me just go back. I think I might have missed some chat here. Let me just see. Frizz, these are the darkest of times, says Parker. Right. Right. Sure. Sienna's saying, I used to have blue hair too. The upkeep was too much. Blue for a week and then green the next. Yeah. Oh dear. Frizzy's saying, what do you find in a cannibal's shower? Head and shoulders. No. No, Frizzy. Don't do it. Oh dear. Chris saying, I leave it till it fades because I can't afford to dye it every week. It's quite expensive. Well, yeah, I can imagine. And that's another reason why I don't do stuff like that. I think natural is usually best, to be fair. So Ryan saying label deal? Quite possibly. I mean, to be honest though, who needs a label these days when you've got the internet like throwing all artists out there? You can just put the work in and get there. But yeah, not a bad way to go as well. You've done pink before as well. Wow. Would I look good with pink hair? I do wonder. Right, I'm gonna have to call it there, I think, because I've probably missed my window for my Duolingo anyway. But it is basically the end of the day, and we've been going for 2 3/4 hours. So it's definitely time to call it. All these newbies, hit that sub button so you can come and join us another day, because I'm live streaming this every day, and it would be fantastic to have you all come back and continue this really wicked banter. You guys have been phenomenally good this evening, phenomenally good. I've really enjoyed chatting to every one of you, and if I don't see Frizzy again, I will be really upset, because that was some fantastic jokes from you, and I definitely want to pick your brains a bit more about your country. And yeah, hopefully we'll see Ernie for some more info about the. Oh, thank you, Frizzy. Yeah, hopefully I'll see Ernie for some more info about South Africa as well, because I've definitely got to pick our brains about there too. But for now, thank you all for being here. I'll see you tomorrow. You have fun.